Indeed, the Messiah is shutting them down. Beautiful brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles. Beloved brothers, Jews and Gentiles alike, shalom, welcome. Thank you for being here. It's good to be here. All praises to the Messiah, YAHAWAH, the Heavenly Father. Thank you, brothers. Thank you for being here. It's good to be here. Give me a 1 if you can hear me and see me well. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Brethren, today we're all going to study the first chapter of this book, Dirty Little Secrets About Black History, its heroes, and other troublemakers, aka this series will be called Doing Jacob's Trouble. And there will be a playlist called Jacob's Trouble. You can play it if you're a truck driver, if you're a runner, somebody that works, somebody that spend a lot of time. You can listen to all those videos, and then they will tell you what happened to us when we're going through our trouble, when those people step feet on our land and starting to steal and swagger jack everything. Before that, brothers, we're going to go into this 20 minutes. Let's see, 20, 840, 850. And 20 minutes, we're going to go into this. Now, let us just spend a little time discussing some stuff that it need to be discussed. Beloved brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, all of you are well aware of what's going on down there in Miami, so to speak, Surfside, to be precise. The whole pancake thing going on. Now, the whole pancake stuff going on down there. Guess what? Guess what? You think this was bad? Thank you for this shirt. My mother bought it for me. You thought this was bad, brethren. When we told you, brethren, the Most High is grand, he is. As we are speaking right now, they find out couple things. One, there is a hurricane called Elsa and is heading for Florida. And they say, if this thing even touch anywhere here, it will take them weeks. They don't want to tell you months though, but it will take them weeks to resume. That's the first thing. The second thing is, brothers, I don't want to say this, man, but yeah, a firefighter found his own daughter under the rubble. The third thing is, because of this action that happened, one of the rescuer is tested for Mrs. Warner. So now they really can't work. Everybody's like, yo, don't get close to me, Negro. I don't know if you get this thing. And this new variant is all over. So they have to quarantine this guy and they don't know who got infected. And they said, like, there are strong possibility, a great amount of them are infected. So they are stopping the war. Third, because of all this, beloved brothers, there is a building called the Crest. They completely evacuate this building. Everybody, they give them less than 4 hours. That was like 6 hours ago. Everybody, pack whatever you can get and get the hell off of that building. That's how the Most High is sweeping those people off the land. Now you got at least 200-300 people, brethren, running, packing things and whatever they can pack and get out. The commissioner came in, the brother came in. The brother said, well, he's a commissioner, so we find the streets unsafe and stuff. And then, get the hell out. Get out. Run. That's how the Most High is sweeping them off. Now, brothers, they are looking at buildings that are over 40. That magic number, over 40. Now, a lot of people are panicking. People are living on their own, and people are getting kicked out by force. You want to sit there and tell me the Most High is not grand? Yeah. Get the hell out, man. Yeah. Brethren, you got a great amount of people right now. Those are not conspiracy theories, brothers. Those are the engineer. Those are the people that they have certain skills. That guy said, this will cause a chain reaction. Now you're going to see all those buildings, quote unquote, that are deemed unsafe. They're going to give you 4 hours or less. Can you imagine, beloved brothers and sisters, my building, this place that I'm staying on right now, it was built in 2017. At least I got 36 years here. But this is not what that is. This is only like 3-story building. You know, I stay on the second floor. This is only 3-story. So, you know, this is not as bad as it is. Beloved, this man say it will cause a chain reaction. And when it does, brothers, when it does this, the people from the shore, the seashore, going to run and get the hell out. And all those people, the rent, well, the rent is kind of cheap in the hood, but the hood is loaded, the hood is full, man. That's where our people at. You people were quarantining yourself away from us. Can you imagine, brothers? Yesterday was the first. How many people paid their rent on the first? I just paid my rent today. Can you imagine that happened to you today while you just paid the rent and they tell you, hey, you can't come back in this building? You know, there are some people that are at work. They are not getting off from work, brothers. And then when they get off from work, they can't go inside. You come nowhere. You come nowhere, and he'll shoot you in the head, or you go to jail. You hear that? And you're going to say the Most High is not working on our behalf? Can you imagine that, brothers? You pay $1,500 of rent, and then you cannot go inside your house. Somebody tell you, if you go there, you'll go in jail. Can you even believe this, brethren? 8 more minutes, we'll jump right in. I was watching the beloved brother Big Joe, the video that he just uploaded. In the beginning of the video, he says something that is very important. He said this will go over most people's head, and it will, and it does. And most people, it go over their head, just like what's happening right now. It's going to go over their head because they will not understand it. You see, slowly but surely, they are giving off, they are giving in, and they are giving on the stuff that they stole from us. Slowly but surely, they are giving back everything. The most I like to do things step by step, little by little, and then it escalated everything. Everything went so fast, you don't know what happened. For those of you who were there yesterday with us for the Wondrous Report, we had 23 pages, man. That's like nothing what happened, brothers. Beloved, at least in my count, you got at least 1,000 people dying in here. All over the 50 states, at least 1,000. At least 1,000 dying from any particular reason and stuff. I'm putting 1,000. It could be 3, 4, 5,000. You know, the opioid is taking at least 1,000 a day because they were saying this. So you got at least 1 million people or 2 million dying from anything. You know, from every year, at least 2 million. You know, are dying from whatever stuff. Yeah, the variant, brothers. I don't want to talk about that, beloved, because they will try to flag this video as some type of misinformation and stuff. But we know what the Mosai is doing with the variant. Over there in Hishland, they went on. They remember those people came in. They said they defeated the Mosai. They say we defeated this plague. So when they say that, they say no more mask. They remove the mask. And nobody else wearing any mask in his lane. They were proudly walking around telling the world, you guys should follow us. We defeated. Ash is the leader and vaccine and all that. Okay? Come to find out, or they reinstate stuff. Things is getting too bad. A lot of things is going on. Wear that mask again. We will defeat it. Wear that mask. The Mosai is wearing them out. The Mosai is wearing them out. They can't defeat this, man. To hell with all of you that keep giving the Gentiles credit. To hell with all of you that keep giving the elites or the Nephilim or the Satan credit. This is your God. Go worship it. Not here. We will not give any man but the Mosai credit here. To hell with all of you. To hell with all of you that truly believe those people have some type of power. To hell with all of you who focus on this and not seeing what the Mosai is doing all over the world. See how the Mosai is strategically moving those people like chess game pawns, is moving them. To hell with all of you, man. Brethren, it is so bad down there in Miami, South Florida. Again, like we said, if this Elsa hurricane, which is the first hurricane recorded, hit Miami, it's gonna take them weeks. And they say, brethren, sister, if the wind is powerful enough, the little portion that they have standing, it will collapse. It will. It will collapse. I don't know about you, but to me, this is all the work of the Heavenly Father on our behalf. The Most High will not be mad. This is July 2nd. This is the second day of July, brothers. Those people thought that eclipse that happened a few days ago was a fluke. They thought it was a joke. They thought that strawberry moon that happened was just an anomaly. They laugh at the great conjunction that happened in December 21st, 2020. They were making fun of us because, oh, you black people are going to get superpower. So far, brothers, not even a coon is involved in this thing. They find out, beloved, and those people think, they start finding toys, children toys. They find two little sisters, 4 and 11 years old, flattened. They find a couple, old or senior citizen couple. You know, I love the seniors. In the bed together, flattened. They find kids' toys. One firefighter, they had to take him off the place because he keep fighting toys, and then he keep reminding me of his daughter, and then he broke down. They took him away. Another person made a remarks. He said, why on earth? Why did we have to bring IDF, Haitian Defense Force, to come help? They brought the Mexican from Mexico. Those guys are professional. They didn't even use them. They don't use the Mexicans. They don't use their little Chihuahua. They got those little Chihuahua. They are super good at finding things like this. They didn't use them. They just put them away. They say, well, you know. So, beloved, old man Biden came over there. He said they, straight up, he told those people they are going through hell. And it's the truth. You see, there is a wall, nothing but flour. Those people are in deep sorrow, which is the first plague of the apocalypse of Abraham. Brethren, we are serving a great God. With that, we're going to conclude this little recap of what's going on down there. We say our praises and our glory to the Most High. Let us begin, brothers. You are now going to see that according to Dr. Claude, according to this book, according what to the Most High is going to beam into our heads, our people were always first. Let us read the introduction. This is page 1 of Dirty Little Secrets about Black History, its heroes, and other troublemakers. Let us find out what was going on, what those people didn't want us to know during the trouble our brethren, our sistren, our forefathers were going through, aka Jacob's trouble. In my travels across the country as a public speaker on Black issues in America, I am asked many questions by Blacks and whites. The question reveals how misinformed most of our people are regarding Black history in America. They ask, why can't Blacks emulate other ethnic groups? What have Blacks contributed to the development of the nation? Or why can't blacks come together as group and help themselves? We often ask that, brothers, when we did not have the Holy Spirit in the midst of us, when the Most High, when we were asleep, we always said, why our people cannot come together? What is it? And why is like, our people are the most, we always come and we do the most backward, the most the scummiest of the scum thing, the most backward things that you can possibly imagine, with black on black crime and stuff like that, because somebody was hiding information. Okay? Somebody was hiding information. Somebody didn't want us to see and know what's happening. So our brothers, their sisters, everybody else are asking. Give me a second. You're asking. It is not that my audience are ignorant, but far from it. They are usually deeply concerned about black circumstances, politics, and culture. They have come to hear me explain the thesis of my book, Black Labor, White Wealth, a search for power and economic justice. Yes. Beloved, there will be justice. First, there is a spiritual justice that's happening right now as we are speaking. Everything's already been done in the spiritual realm. It's just the birth. We're on step 10 now. You're seeing the birth of it. A spiritual justice. There will be economic, financial justice. And there will be a physical justice. It's a process, but it will happen. Slowly but surely, those people start to giving back things that they are stolen. Like that land they stole from the brother over there in California, okay? Which attempts to guide African American, we know Hebrews, and the frustrating search for equality. Ignorance of history makes the campaign for justice more difficult. Let us look at the label Uncle Tom. As an illustration, this label is often used to describe a black person who sells out his race to profit himself. As a specific example, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, if you're familiar with this fellow, appeared on the front cover of Emerge magazine twice in the last 3 years. Once with a bandana wrapped around his head, once as a black lawn jockey. The magazine cover and stories portray Clarence Thomas to be Uncle Tom. But based on Harriet Beecher story novels, Uncle Tom's Cabin, in which the name originated, blacks who intentionally place the welfare of the dominant white race above their own race more closely resembles Tom symbol, not Uncle Tom. Let me clarify this, brothers. The whole thing about Uncle Tom and symbol, and please, we just studying, brothers. We're not going to fight and say this. We are well aware there is a quote unquote a black god in Asia named Sambo or Symbol. This is not what we are talking about here. We are talking about how those people like to flip words. Okay, we are talking about how those people like to play with certain things and then mess up your psyche. For instance, I was clearly I clearly remember I was watching Muhammad Ali a match. He was going with that fellow, and then he was beating that guy so bad, and he was keep calling him Uncle Tom, Uncle Tom. And the guy said, "Well, I'm not going to call him Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna call him like his mama called him, Cassius Clay." And Muhammad Ali was pissed off. Yo, Ali went on this guy and well on him. And he was keep calling this guy Uncle Tom. One of the guys who used to call people Uncle Tom, but the proper word is symbol. Who is an Uncle Tom, brothers? Uncle Tom was a weak man. He was a black man. Uncle Tom was a normal man. He was a slave. But one thing Uncle Tom does, he did love his people. He did love black people. And Uncle Tom, brothers, He didn't want to see his people in slavery. He didn't want to see them suffering. So what Uncle Tom used to do, brothers, there is a rule when our people were going to Jacob's trouble, hardcore chattel slavery. If they sent you to the cotton field, there is an amount of cotton you have to come back with. If you do not come with the weight, with the amount, for instance, if the weight is 100 pounds and then you come back with 50, and then they will give you like somewhere around 1 lashes per pound or 2 lashes, something like that. It is so difficult, brothers. It's virtually next to impossible to bring the amount of pound you were supposed to get. Now, every night, the slave will come back with the bag filled, and then they will weigh it, they will see it. Some of them will get in, some of them will get beat. And the guy that used to beat the slave, his name was Simbo. Simbo was the guy that beat the slave, another black man that don't bring stuff. He's not working though. He's just chilling home, sucking up to the white master. But he was the one that was beating the slave for coming with less and less cotton. So Uncle Tom, brothers, he used to wake up early in the morning and go do the work. He done 3 times the work, brothers. If they ask for 100 pounds, he bring 300 pounds. And then he would take some of his cotton, he will put it in other slaves that don't have enough, so they won't beat them. He would take some of his and give to others, so they won't beat those slaves. And then they find out he's been doing this for a while. Brothers, this story is no different with the story of Tobit in the Bible. It's no different than the story that we study in the pillar of fire. Remember in the pillar of fire, brethren, the slave, when we were in Egypt, the taskmasters, there is an amount of weight we have to bring. Remember the guy that was beating Ben Isaac? He was beating Ben Isaac and Ben Israel because they didn't have enough weight. And Ben Isaac is too old. He dropped the weight, and then he just closed his eyes. He said, just kill me. And the guy said, so be it. And then the guy was beating him to death until Sesostris came in, and Sesostris stopped him and said, what the hell are you doing? Don't you see this man is old? He cannot lift this. Not even you can lift it. So Ben Isaac stand up and he said, like, Sesostris asked him, why they are beating you? He said, I don't have enough weight to bring. And he asked the taskmaster, he say, how many weight? He said, man, that's not me. They have a certain amount they have to bring. If they don't bring it, I don't get paid. And Sesostris asked him, how much money do you get paid? Brother, that guy get paid. The money they give these guys come from a piece of wood shaping like a little scarabus, like a little crab, a piece of wood, brothers. He said, I get paid a quarter a day, like 25 cents a day. Sesostris give him somewhere on like $100 cash, and then he said, get the hell out of here. He just kept the money, say, hey, and then that guy retired. Can you imagine you making like $25 a day, and then somebody came in and give you over $600,000? You quit your job, and you're like, hey, I'm out. That was the same thing. So the slave, they had a certain amount of weight they have to bring to the amount of cotton they have to bring. So if the one that they don't have the amount, they will beat them. So Uncle Tom did not want this. He will work 3 times and he will take some of his and give other slaves so they won't get beat, because he cannot stand it. He cannot stand watching this. And then one day, Uncle Tom went to the field. There was a black woman. She was too weak to work. She didn't bring enough cotton. So now they heard about what Uncle Tom been doing, and then they took Uncle Tom, they bring it Sambo, okay, or Sambo. He bring Uncle Tom to the master. He say, this guy is the one that worked 3 times. He keep giving people. This woman does not have enough of that cotton. So they ordered Uncle Tom to beat this woman to death. Uncle Tom said, you're gonna have to kill me. I ain't gonna touch my people. He threw the whip down. He said, you're gonna have to kill me. I will not touch my people. I love them to death. And then the master, and somebody didn't even listen to the master. He took the whip and he started beating Uncle Tom, started punching him and hitting him. He beat him, finally he killed him. Simbo is the guy that put everything in front, and everything that is wealth in front, and everything his people, the most everything else is behind. He's the guys that are here for himself. He beat Uncle Tom until he killed him. Uncle Tom did not beat none of his people. He didn't beat on his people. There's a lot of Uncle Tom out there, brethren. There are a lot of us. We are Uncle Tom. We won't touch our people. We'll choose death. And guess what? There's a hell of a lot more symbols out there. Then again, we know for a fact there's a god named Simbo in Africa. Simbo is just a name, brothers, okay? It's just a name, all right? We're not going to go ahead and fight about this, okay? Please. All right, brothers. Everybody got that? Everybody understand the story? For now on, when a coon does something, he's a straight symbol, all right? He's not an Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom was a righteous man. He was a man of the Most High. He respect his people. He didn't touch them, all right? Simbo is the scumbag, all right? So hopefully everybody got that stuff. So let us move in, brothers. We're still an introduction. So, according to Dr. Claude, the education in America is so poor. And there's a reason for that, okay? They did this on purpose. They did this to blind a group of people. Listen, in America, brothers and sisters, you don't need education to become rich. You don't need education to become successful. Nowhere in this world you need education to become successful. You don't need none of that. But in America, they made it like that. They made it to a fact that you have to get their education to become successful. He studied here in the school about Shays' rebellion, for those of you who are familiar with Shays' rebellion, that burned Jamestown, Virginia, the first colonial settlement. They do not teach that blacks fought to free white colonies from English rule, even though the black race itself was being enslaved by the very same freedom-loving white colonists. During Black History Month, black children will see posted pictures of Sojourner Truth, but they are not taught that this fiery orator and activist was raised in a Dutch household and could only speak Dutch until she was an adult. Did you folks know this? Did you folks know Sojourner Truth, so to speak, could not speak English? She only could speak Dutch because she was raised in a Dutch household until she became an adult. They don't teach you this fact because you're going to look at, what are those Dutch? I didn't know this. I don't know about you. I'm very ignorant of this. Yeah. She could not speak English until she grew up to become an adult. That's how, brothers, doing our trouble. That's how they restricted our people. That is why I despise any Gentiles coming in my face and try to tell me the story of my people. I get the story of my people from my people. Dr. Claude Henderson is ours. and he's anointed by the Most High. If you know Dr. Claude Anderson, when you see the Most High, when you see Dr. Claude Anderson talking, he dubbed himself as Samson. For those of you who know who Samson was, Dr. Claude Anderson, he understand ever since he was a little child, the Most High revealed something unto him. This was his mission. This is the message that the Most High prepared him ever since he was a little boy. This is prophecy right now. We are being fulfilled this. And a lot of people are going to have problem with me with this, because when I told them, like, the Most High he worked weirdly. When I told them the Most High anointed Dr. King to do a bunch of things, Malcolm X to do a bunch of things, people keep saying, well, they were Freemason. They were this, they were that. Okay, where'd you get this? Okay, the enemy told me this. He was a Freemason, therefore everything that he did, it was on purpose. Did you know right after Dr. King went to Jamaica and then he speak to the grave of one of the ancestors, the people over there taught him something. He came back, he was no longer Dr. Claude. People, Dr. Martin Luther King, people are always acting like, oh, I'm so righteous, but some of you here were Christian. So the Most High give you the Holy Spirit now when you're talking, people, wait, well, you were a former Christian. You were evil. Yeah, the Most High can give the message to anybody. And I'm just going to go throw this out there. Please keep your silly little emails to yourself. I don't want you to send me emails telling me, oh, those guys are the boule, they stuff and things like that. Look beyond the message. That's the message that the Most High is sending. Search Dr. Claude first. Dr. Claude, brothers, ever since he was a little boy, his mother was working in the field. When the mother come home, her fingers was bleeding. Blood was coming out of her finger. The mother was crying because she worked so hard. And then he will come to the mother. He will cry with the mother, say, Mom, why are you working like this? He said, that's the only job I can get, my son. We blacks were not allowed to do any job. And then Dr. Claude stand up. He put his hand on his heart as a little boy. He took an oath. He took a vow to the Most High. He called God. He said, God, I'm talking to you. From this day forward, I will go up. I will be a strength unto my people. I will be a heavyweight champion for my people. And I will give my life for my people. So be it. Till this day, Dr. Claude is like in his 80s, is still fighting for the people. Those are the people the Most High anointed ages ago. So they can write books and give us the message so we can spread it. When Dr. King went to that city in Mississippi, please, if you know the city, put the name. And he saw the way our people was beaten, the way they were living in poverty. He did the same thing YAHAWAH did. He started crying. He kneeled, he cried, and he called God. He took a vow. He said, as long as I live, I will make sure my people will never live in this space. I will make sure my people get a little better. He took an oath with the Most High. And then he went ahead and did do all that. The whole movement with Dr. King was co-opted. I already went into this. It was co-opted. Till this day, it's co-opted. King was more dangerous than Malcolm. Malcolm, they keep Malcolm way far away. King was right there in the face. King was in the White House and all over. He was too dangerous. We will not fight over this, brothers. If you cannot get this message that the Most High is throwing out there and you want to argue this and there's nothing I can do for you. Understand, all our people that die, brothers, even though the brother died for black people, we know for a fact back then that's what they used to call us until we woke up. Now we know we are Hebrew Israelites, the children of God. But he back himself, brothers, Dr. King or Dr. Claude, they have more cojones than most of us here. I'll tell you the truth, man. I will not die for any black folks, man. I don't know you people, man. I will not die for you, man. But Claude and Dr. King and Malcolm X, they stand up. They say, I'll give my life for my people, man. Malcolm X stand in front of everybody and say, what you're calling black peoples are nothing but the lost tribe of Israel. They just don't know what happened to them. The brother tell you the truth, Instead of you saying this, oh, he was a Muslim. He was, oh, the brother was a Muslim. Okay, so what are you? He wasn't in the truth act. He wasn't in my camp act. What is this? What are you talking about? Did you get the message? Yes or not? But I don't care. The message come from you. Whatever, man. So let us move in, brethren. Let us move in. All right. The whole sojourn, the truth. Okay. Now, despite improvements in recent years, Black people are virtually non-existent in textbook, except for picking cotton, demonstrating or rioting during civil rights movement of the 1960s. School texts continue to gloss over or misrepresent the impact of slavery, Jim Crow segregation, and civil rights on the building of this nation. That's what happened, brothers. They completely erased Black people from the history. The same thing that happened to us in the book of the Pillar of Fire when we were in Egypt. Did you know, out of the 3 million Black, Hebrew that was living and we was doing that stuff in Egypt, so to speak, they did not know other nation exists. They heard of them, but they never seen them. They were quarantined in one place for hundreds of years. They didn't spend 430 years in slavery in Egypt. That's a bunch of garbage. They spent somewhere around 100 and something years. Did you know that? They didn't even know other people exist. That is why when the Most High bring us out of Egypt, we were so naive. When we see Moabites, we're like, whoa, who are those people? We run after the women. Remember that guy? He saw Moabite women dancing in front of him, dancing, and then he took her, went to his tent, going to her, and then they let one of the brother know, and the brother came in with a spear, a javelin, and then while he see that brother baking on the top of her on the floor, he run the javelin, the spear onto his back, pressing him and the daughter. The woman was the daughter of the king, and lift them up and killed them. Because when we see other people, we're so curious to know what they know. We want to learn their stuff because we never seen them before. That's why we always, and those people can easily trick us on worshiping their God. And then we're like, wow. In this people culture, I can bake with the mother's son, I can bake with the sister, I can bake with the father, and their God will love this, and their God won't punish me. You know, some of our people, they are scumbag, and they curse the name of the Most High. Man, hey, I'm going to go ahead and slip dunk that guy. Some of our men were Pico smoochers, so the Most High don't like that, while the other people, they like that, so they will go over there and then worship that other God. You have to understand, when they erase you from history, you don't know anything about your people. You don't know anything about your home. So you're very naive. And anything people will say, you won't do the research, you will believe them. And you will take it, you will run with it. Now, humans have a natural curiosity about situations, just like I said. It's something that is natural, brothers. When we see something we never seen before, even though they say stay away, but we are curious to see, what is this? Even though you're not into these things, but you're always wondering, what is that? What's going on? What's you? And wait a minute. Your God said, if you see a neighbor have wealth, if you see your neighbor have something that you want, you just kill the neighbor and take it, and then that's it. You just go over there and take it. If your neighbor have a wife, you want the wife, you just take the wife. You know Og, for those of you who read the book of Og has a law. Og has his own 10 commandments. They are completely the opposite of what we're saying. Og said, if you see somebody, that person got something that you like, just kill him, take it, and then come to him, he will give you money for that. Og the giant said, if a man, another giant, kill another man, another giant with a punch, with a hand, he will promote him to the highest whatever with a single punch. That is why our people reject the Most High. Beloved, make no mistake. Some of us, we like women. Some of us men, we like women. And you find out there's a culture out there. You just come out of slavery. There's a culture out there. You can sleep with any type of women that you want over there and nothing going to happen to you. You can party all night. You can drink all night. You can spill your seed. You can put your dough inside any oven. You can do all sort of things. There's no consequences. Some dude says something slick about Big Levi. Big Levi killed that dude. Nothing will happen. A lot of us will go with those people because there's no consequences. Nobody want to take responsibility and accountability, man. We want to go ahead and do all kind of things. That's why we left the Most High. The Most High have rules. He have policy and structures. Now our ass is in the fire and they were calling the Most High to save us. And we find out like those people don't know anything. The Most High know best. All right. Discovering dirty little secrets about taboo subjects and peccadillos. I don't know what that word is. Peccadillos or picadillos. Peccadillos. Define that. Peccadillos. Peccadillos. Or pica. Peccadillos. Okay? I mean, it's that's plural. Of notable personality, add excitement and educated process. This book tells intimate and little known details about the most misunderstood of all subject, the history of the black race. Okay. Now we're gonna jump a little bit down. Many of the whites depicted were slave owners who fought against the freedom of the black race. A few, as in the exception case of John Brown, are white heroes who fought and died for the black race. You see, when the enemy is teaching you, he will take that one drop out of that ocean of mess that he did. He will take one drop of clean water and then he'll drop you in front of you. And then he will hide the 7 seas behind him. He'll say, all of us white people didn't hate you. Look at John Brown. Anybody know anything about John Brown before we move in, brothers? John Brown. Anybody know anything about who John Brown was? Peccadillo, a small, relatively unimportant offense or sin. Okay, some people say yes, no, yes, no, yes, indeed, no, never heard of him. Never heard of him. All right, yes, okay, all right, well, okay, most people, okay, it's a 50-50, all right, 50-50. All right, let's just brush on John Brown. John Brown, brethren, was a white man. He was a white, quote-unquote, Christian. There are many stories about John Brown. There's a story. This is the one that I know about John Brown, okay? John Brown was a white man. He was a white Christian. And he said, if we are true Christian, if we are serving God, everybody is the children of God. And we cannot have human being slave, especially those black people over there. And he become a quote-unquote an abolitionist, so to speak, all right? And then he start going around, brothers. That was if you call it what you want, I call it the Holy Spirit, okay? All right? The Holy Spirit mounting this man, and he start going around. He start freeing the people. He told them, listen, if you don't free those people, a very great, well, we don't want to say curse, but a great thing going to happen to you, a great bad stuff going to happen to you. They say, we don't give a So John Brown was going, white man, he was going around and threaten people so people will free those blacks. So some of them free, some of them they don't. Then he was going around and start killing people. He was the one that started killing people. Now, John Brown came to attack a plantation, and there was a black symbol there. I forgot his name. We're going to study this guy. He's in there. And the black symbol saw John Brown and a group of black men and white men coming to deliver the town, and this symbol run, and then he start calling his master, Master, they're coming to steal our stuff, Master. Master, they come here to steal our stuff. They shot and killed him. John Brown shot and killed him first. They shot and killed this guy. So John Brown, he got they caught him, and then they hang him, I believe, or they shot him, something like that happened. They killed him. So John Brown was a white man and stuff. So this story make white people look good. This story make them look like heroes. You know, they are heroes now. So they take this John Brown and put it right in your face. Through the Spirit, beloved brothers, John Brown was nowhere near that word Gentiles. When you read about John Brown, his color, he was a white man in color. That's what he was. When you read John Brown to the Spirit, you're like, no way in hell this guy is a quote-unquote an Edomite or any type of Gentile, so to speak. That's the story, a little bit of John Brown. Well, hey, all right then. All right. So, brothers, let us go to chapter 1. There are so many things. I just skip a bunch of things here. We don't have the time. Let's jump to chapter 1. Chapter 1. A second, beloved. Chapter 1. Forgive me, brothers. If I made a mistake in the whole John Brown thing, please put it in the comments. Send me a kind emails. Let us discuss that. Because I believe yesterday I said something about the tribe, the 12 tribe. I said the northern tribe were Judah and Levi, and then the southern tribe were the others, which is vice versa. A sister sent me a very kind email. He said, brother, you say this and that. I didn't even realize that I said the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom were Ephraim and Manasseh, and the northern kingdom were Judah, Levi, and the rest. I made a mistake. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, it is good. That's what we call constructive criticism. Okay, that's what that is. You don't call me and say Big Levi or constructive criticism. You know, you wear that thing in your head too long, and I don't like it. And throw it away. Get out of here, man. Now, brothers, we're going to read this through the Holy Spirit. Our people were first, and we always do everything first. Chapter 1, notable first and last. The first truth is no greater than the last. Many facts. On January 1st, 1804, Haiti's new black republic proclaimed itself a free country and abolished slavery. Haiti, or Haiti, was the first and to do date the only black country to successfully revolt and overthrow of European colonial power. Again, if we're going to have to go to Haiti, we're going to have a whole other channels. If you don't know about Haiti right now, that's a problem. And, excuse me, in 1865, General William Sherman issued reparations and special field order number 15, providing some land for ex-slaves in South Carolina and Georgia. In 1996, the state of Florida compensated the black survivors of Rosewood, Florida massacre. You folks know about that? Some of our people receive a little, we can call it a little reparation, but it's nowhere near that word, so to speak. Okay, in 1865, General Williams, they gave some of the ex-slave, okay, they gave them some land. All right, which is, we know later they took that away from them. Okay, in 1996, the state of Florida compensated the black survivor of Rosewood, Florida massacre. All right, they gave some of that stuff back. Some of the people receive a little. Again, they like to drop that one drop and then say, oh, well, didn't you watch that video of Fat Gown Lie say, we give you a reparation, so you people don't need this and stuff like that. So, they took it right back. They took it right back. In 1900, Bert Williams and George Walker become the very first black recording artists when they made several records for the Victor Talking Machine. You know those old record stuff, brothers? Black folks were the first one who record them. They were the first recording artists, the first Grammys. You know those little Grammy they give people? Black folks were the first one, okay? Their name was Bert Williams and George Walker. They was the first recording artists. All right, they record in 1900. All right, somewhere about 121 years from now, I believe, if I'm not making any mistake. The phrase gospel music, and Big Levi's own opinion, probably the worst possible music we made. Gospel music, worshiping another God. The phrase gospel music was first widely used starting in 1875 when a book called Gospel Hymns or Hymns and Sacred Tunes appear in the North. Gospel music, brothers, I don't even need to tell you this, were our people music. He got co-opted. Gospel mean good news. They don't want you black people to sing about good news. What the good news? Oh, good news, Father's going to come here and risk you. Oh, hell no. Oh, you're not going to sing about that gospel. You're going to sing about that white Jesus gospel. Jesus. Bam, bam. Jesus. Oh, your skin is so fair. Bam, bam, bam. So white. Bam, bam. Your eyes is so blue. That is gospel music. Yeah. You make it when you wanna stop. Oh, my hand wanna stop. All of those gospel music, brothers, they take it from the Most High, they put it on them. Idolatry. That's the worst music you can do, gospel music. You think rap music is the worst? No, gospel is the worst. 24/7 praising another God, whoring yourself to that God. Whoring yourself 24/7, listen up to gospel music, to this specific gospel music with your whole heart. Some people listen to some gospel music, brothers. Listen, I am not against gospel music. The word gospel means good news, beloved. That's all it means. It's just been co-opted. That's all. That's all, brothers. All right. Darken the mind and change a black tax. Anybody know about the black tax, brothers? Anybody know about the black tax before we move in, beloved? Okay. All right, brother Larry, know about the black tax. Okay, brother Peter, don't. Some of the brothers, some of you know, some of you don't know. All right, most of the people don't know. All right, let's brush against the black tax. What was the black tax, brothers? The black tax was a tax on black people. If you black, you exist, you pay this tax. That's what that is. And now when we are going to our trouble, if they find a black man, a black woman, a black child, there's a tax you have to pay because you're black. Well, now they really can't call it the black tax. They call it the IRS. Yep. They catch you. If all blacks have to pay it, you black, you pay that tax. The black tax started, beloved, in 18. Let me see if I have to get this right, okay? It started in Spain, all right? It started in Spain when Spain slammed the door on black enlightenment, okay? It becomes the global model for plain black illiteracy. When we were ruling Europe, brothers, when the Moors were over there, when Europe was under our rule, when we were ruling, and Esau, the Edomites, were a slave under our hand, because they were slave first to us, okay? And then when we were ruling the whole Europe and all that, we had all the school, we built Europe and stuff. And then that's when a lot of our people got overthrown over there. So the Spaniards, so to speak, they came up with when the swagger jacked us, they threw us down. They were the first who came up with no black people should read anything. They're supposed to be illiterate. If they caught a black reading something, you'll be killed right in the spot. Okay, Spain was the one who came in with that. Okay, there was a black man. His name was One Latino. This is just a name, One Latino. It doesn't mean he was like some Latino dude and stuff. Some Vatos or Cholo Morphos. But it was just one Latino was a black man. One Latino, a free black man, was probably the last person of his race to receive a college education in Spain before the crown of the hierarchy of the Catholic Church officially condoned black enslavement in place of Indian. There you go, the priesthood of Mahan. The priesthood of Mahan was the one who came up and said, no more of you Negroes reading. And then he said, all of you will go into slavery. The Catholic Church, the priesthood of Mahan, the priesthood of Cain, they are the one who initiate first. They are the one who control all those things. There's no such thing as in Baptist, Muslim, and all that. All of them are priesthood of Mahan. They are Mahanists. That's why we sent the left hand of the Most High angels through the highest court of the priesthood of Mahan. They are all one. Don't listen to people tell you, oh, each religion is different. Garbage. They are all in the same. Thank you, Sister Virginia. They are the same, all of them. They have one goal, to keep us down, to keep the children of God down. That's it. You join one, you down. You are Catholic, you're part of it. You're Protestant, you're part of it. You're Muslim, you're part of it. You're Buddhist, you're part of it. Whatever you are, you're part of it. One Latino, okay, the black man, was awarded a bachelor degree from the University of Granada at the beginning of 1500s. He went on to become a professor of grammar and Latin in Granada, Spain, and become a noted poet. He published his first book of poetry in the mid-1500s. Proceed from the sale of his book must surely come in handy, since during the same time period, Spain enacted a black tax. Spain was the first who come with a black tax. This was not a general tax. It mandated that free, professional, and educated blacks pay a special tribute or tax. Black folks pay tax because they're simply black. 3 centuries later, 300 years later, free black males in southern states across America were required to pay a similar annual tribute called capital tax. They don't call it black tax, they call it capital tax. So our brothers just walk about there, say, oh, hey, we are the IRS, just come here, we need your capital tax. What about those white folks over there? They're not black, or you're not white. Cough it up. Okay? As with one Latino in the 1500s, free black males in America, regardless of education, achievement, or profession, had to pay simply for existing. If you exist, tax. You have to pay that tax. Now, brethren, again, this is a book. We know we were always here, we were always all over the world, but we're going to read this. First black born in America was not a slave. The first black that was born in America was not a slave. In 1619, an unknown Dutch frigate brought 20 blacks from Africa to Jamestown, Virginia, where sailors traded them and endorsed servitude for exchange for food, water, and ship supplies. By early 2624, the first black child, William, was born to a black couple, Anthony and Isabella Tucker, and Elizabeth City, Virginia. Okay. Shortly after William was born, not only was the quote-unquote, according to this book, we know we were already here, brothers. According to this book, he was the first black that was born here, and he was the first black that was baptized here, so to speak, according to this book. And we know we were already there, okay? All right. Let's see. What records came? All right. So, the first Thanksgiving. It is the holiday on which we thank God for his bounty and blessing. Thanksgiving, with its display of pumpkins and pilgrim, is one way Americans proclaim the love of country. Yet, the true origin of Thanksgiving, its celebration, reveal an unsettling combination of myth and facts. Okay, and Thanksgiving, there are also a bunch of myth and there are a bunch of facts in there. First, pilgrims did not introduce the tradition. White folks always will make everything that you have, we introduce it to you. We give it to you. They didn't even introduce this to the Native American. We know for a fact our people were doing the Thanksgiving to the Father, man. It was just a celebration we do for the Father, give him thanks. Thanksgiving is just give thanks unto YAHAWAH. That's all it was, man. But they took it and then they made it all about themselves, to be grateful for that great house that they have and that freaking turkey that they've been eating and all the stuff. First, pilgrims did not introduce the tradition. American Indians had observed autumn harvest celebration for centuries before the first European arrived on the continent. Second, although George Washington set aside days for national Thanksgiving, it was President Abraham Lincoln who proclaimed the day a national holiday back in 1863. Ironically, this was the same year he issued his historic Emancipation Proclamation, which symbolically at least freed more than 5 million black people from slavery. Now we know for a fact the word pilgrims didn't even exist during that time. And then we find out that in 1863, it was Abraham Lincoln who made it official to celebrate. It wasn't George Washington, it was Abe to make it official to celebrate this thing. Oops, sorry. Although the first official November Thanksgiving was the first holiday that all black people in America were able to give thanks for being free from the chain of servitude, no public connection was made between the two events. You see where they got you now? You see where our people got messed up? In 1863, old man Lincoln declared Thanksgiving to be a national holiday. And in 1865, when our people were free, Thanksgiving was the first thing they could have done together as free people, as free men and women. That is why, brothers, he keeps celebrating this day. That is why our people love Thanksgiving and stuff. That is why they love Christmas and stuff. After Thanksgiving, they allow them to celebrate Christmas. Remember, brothers, we cannot blame our people. They were enslaved for a long time. There's a lot of stuff that they see the Gentiles were doing. They wanted to do that too. Oh, 1863 equal destruction. That's what they did to our people. You know, old man Abe was a powerful warlock, man. Abraham Lincoln was a powerful sorcerer. All your former president, all of them. Okay, they read those guys are well trained in the dark art. They are well trained in the Bible and stuff. They understand what's gonna happen. They understand how our people are. They understand how energy. They understand how the ley line works. They were a powerful magician, man, so to speak, on the dark side. All right. Lincoln did not make any religious connection to the Thanksgiving holiday. His motive were purely nationalistic. Having you heard this? His motive was purely nationalistic. All right. Having divided the nation over the slavery issue and ensuing civil war, Lincoln left the Union needed all the patriotic fever that such a holiday observance could engender. While black people were the primary justification for proclaiming a national Thanksgiving holiday, no symbolic form of blackness have ever been associated with the holiday. You heard that? Although we were the main people, the main reason that they make this holiday a holiday, it has, when you watch Thanksgiving, it has completely no connection to us. And we were the reason why they create this holiday so we can celebrate it, So we can, brothers, when you get together with a bunch of people celebrating one thing and one consent, that's a lot of power you're sending to the ley line, man. And whoever's feeding to that power is getting more and more powerful. Brethren, when they look in 2019, but for the few past years, then when they, let's say 2000, when they look in 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10, they start seeing things. They start seeing how people don't celebrate garbages like that. And 2017, they stop celebrating. They celebrate less and less and less. That is why you got Juneteenth. Juneteenth or June 10th, did I say that right? Juneteenth? Juneteenth or June 10th is another Thanksgiving, brother. It's another thing on our people to take their energy away from the Messiah, to take their money away. Do you know how many blacks back then that was celebrating Thanksgiving? Do you know how many blacks that will celebrate Juneteenth? It's the same thing, brothers. They give us those things because they see that they are losing things. They see there must be a way to control those people. Juneteenth is another Thanksgiving. It's specifically made for you. Brethren, I am not sitting here and badmouth Juneteenth. No, I respect our brothers and sisters and our ancestors that were in slavery. But to hell with you, I ain't gonna spend a dime. If anything, I'll swagger jack your ass and take everything that you have on Juneteenth. But they give you something to put all your energy in there. Okay? All right. A dubious distinction. YAHAWAH, brethren, not all skin folk are kinfolk. We're going to read it here. A dubious distinction. This is according to this book. I'm not saying this. This is according to this, brethren. Anthony Johnson. Anthony Johnson had the dubious honor of being the first American to hold a black person as a slave for life. And because Johnson was black himself, the distinction is even more notable. So the first person that had the privilege of holding another black man for life was another black man. And we know here this person was another tribe, another nation. It could be an Amite. It could be a Shemite. It could be a Japhetite. It could be, it's another nation. Another black man was the one that owned the first black man, according to this book. I am not irritated this. I am not supporting this. I'm not saying that's what happened. That is why we cannot trust all black people. Any scumbag that got shot in the news, any people that we see die. Oh, they are killing us. They are killing us. Who the hell are those people, man? Who are they? What was this guy? Who is this guy, man? Is he one of our people? And then there are people coming up straight in the camera and say, oh, we forgive the cops. We forgive everything Jesus said to forgive and stuff. And then they don't want to fight. Johnson arrived in Virginia from England as an indentured servant in 1821 and 1621. Just 1621, 400 years ago. Just 2 years after the first black has arrived in Jamestown. Okay. After working off his 2 years servitude, he earned enough money to purchase a small tract of land and several servants. Over the next few years, he acquired an additional 640 acres under the head right system, a law that rewarded him for increasing the number of slaves he owned. Thanks for the free labor, Johnson became one of the richest black men in the area, just 3 years before Virginia legally recognized slavery in 1624. Johnson's loyalty was to wealth, not race. You heard that? Johnson's loyalty was to wealth, not race. Some of the two-third brethren, their loyalty is to wealth, not our people. Some of the people that look like us, their words is strictly money, strictly fame. To hell with you, black people. I'm going to throw you under the bus. I'm a freaking symbol. I'm going to beat you until you die so Massa can give me this money. Straight up wealth, nothing else. Just like here, our loyalty is strictly for the Most High and nothing else. John, listen to this, brothers, okay? Anthony Johnson, he owned a bunch of black men, women, and child as slave for life. There was a white man named John Kazor, or Kazor, call it Kazor. So this white man required services from a slave. And Anthony, the black man, had those slaves with him. That slave was the only one that can do the job that white man needed, Kazor. And that slave that working for Anthony, he went to do the job for that white man named Kazor. And while he was at Kazor's house, and he was doing the job for that white man named Kazor, and he told Kazor, yo, this is weird, man. I served this dude for 7 years. He was supposed to let me go and pay me, but he doesn't want to let me go. And then Kazor give him an advice. Kazor say, well, you know what? You served this guy, man, 7 years. You should go ahead, go. If I were you, I would have leave, man. I would have leave and go free. And then the slave listened to Kazor. Okay? The slave went back to the black owner. He packed up his thing and he left. Anthony Johnson, the black slave holder or owner, went to the Supreme Court or to the court. He sued the white man for property damage. He sued this white man because this white man, Kazor, was the one who put the idea inside of his property, so his property leave now. He sued that white man and he won. Because of the whole thing, when he sued, okay? Thank you, Brother Larry. Jacob's uncle Laban or Laban, those are the same people, brothers. So he sued that white man. He said, you are the one that tell my slave to run away. And then they made it because of that, this Anthony Johnson did. Brothers, I'm not saying this is real. This is the story I'm telling you because Hesh never changed. When you look at the Bible, you're like, wait, this is the same story. Laban kept Jacob for over 14 years. He never wanted to release Jacob. Jacob had to escape Laban. He was a scumbag. It's the same thing that's going on here. Anthony, because of what Anthony did, brothers, they made it a law. Once you own a black person, you own this black person for life. Okay? He was the first dude who came up with this. It usually before 2 years, 4, 7 years. And now you own that black man, black woman for life. It was because of Anthony Johnson, aka another Laban or Laban. The first African American poet. In 1746, a black woman named Lucy Terry witnessed a bloody Indian massacre in Deerfield, Massachusetts. She wrote a rhyme description of it. The lengthy poem was so powerful that she was publicly recognized for the language that she used in recording the event. A sample of the power and feelings of her words was reflecting in such line as, the Indians in ambush lay, some very valiant men to slay, the names of whom I leave out, Samuel Allen like a hero fought. And though he was so brave and hold, his face no more shall behold. Eleazar Hawks was killed outright before he had time to fight. Before he did, the Indian sea was shot and killed immediately. All praises to the Most High, man. Our people were natural, man. This sister, a former slave, she didn't even know how to read. She wrote a poem, beautiful poem, and then she published a bunch of stuff. Then again, if you're a slave, anything that you do, the master collect the money. If a master got the talent of a slave, they collect the money. And no different today. The record company, little baby make a bunch. They give you the trinkets, the little crumbs. They collect the money. A bunch of our people make big money and stuff. They say, act tough, act big, act like a millionaire. All the money leaves for them. The sister was a beautiful poet. Okay, Sister Lucy Terry was the first recorded black poet. Again, we know our people were born here. The Garden of Eden is on the fourth part here. We know all those things. Okay, so we just study. We just study. All right. Now, because brothers, she learned to read and write on her own. Nobody taught her how to do this. If back in that time, brethren, they caught you teaching a black person, they will fine you $100 and 39 lashes, and you're back. Anybody can do the math for us here? 39 lashes. What is that? And also, how much money $100 was in 1746? Okay, how much money $100 was in 1746? All right, and 39 lashes. If we do a little simple arithmetic, what does it? Slave, parodied elected officials. Until the early 1800s, free blacks in South had little more freedom or opportunity than slave enough. Free blacks placed great emphasis on social imitation of whites, putting on air, dressing up, and emulating whites' high society. It's the same thing going on today. Same thing going on today, man. You got a bunch of our people emulating. Define this word. Emulating or emulating. Okay? So about $6,000. You will get caught. You will pay $6,000 cash, and then they will put 39 lashes in your ass if they caught you teaching black people, how to read. All right? This is how our people were going through, brothers. This is what our people were going through. Okay? Yeah. Copycats, okay? They emulate the white high society, yet they could do nothing for them, okay? All right. Okay, that prohibition did not stop from enjoying, okay, and all that and stuff, okay. Now, we start to getting into the meat of this. We're about to getting into the roots of this evil that happened to us. First, ministers were licensed to control. The American War for Independence gave blacks both free and enslaved cause to express their interest in religious freedom. But fearing blacks would use the Bible to seek freedom, education, or black unity, whites applied strict limit to black religious services. While a few blacks, mostly house Negro, as opposed to field slaves, were allowed to attend services with whites, they were required to sit and separate all black section. Now, they find out that religion is a good way to keep our people docile, to keep our people peaceful. So they they give permission for black folks to teach the Bible with only the black Bible slave, the Bible slave. Remember 2-3 years ago, Brother Big Jew, the beloved sister Lisa Cabrera brought a video where they were releasing the Bible slave. That was the Bible they were using for black folks. And they find out that if the slave Bible or the Bible slave, the slave Bible, something like that, they find out if they let our people learn anything in the book. That's why they will completely remove the book of Exodus. They put certain things in the book of Exodus to, okay, slave, obey your masters. But Moses taking the people out of slavery? Oh, hell no. They took that out. They took this out. They took the most weak, the most docile, the most obedient black man, they made him a preacher. His job is to teach the whole black congregation how to be meek, how to be humble unto their masters. Beloved, that is why till this day you got people in the nation are telling you, Big Levi, be humble and meek unto the enemy. Humble yourself unto the enemy. You got too much pride. They think if you go against the enemy with boldness, with no fear, to them that is pride. Big Levi, you have to, meek and humble. Speak with a lower voice. And I told any Negroes out there, man, I am only meek and humble unto the Father. Everybody else, to hell with you. I spit on your face, man. I'll stab you in your ass and steal everything that you have, damn it. Ain't gotta to be meek and humble unto you. Who the hell are you, man? You're not the Most High, man. That is why, brothers, till this day, you got people in this truth. They are very quiet. If you watch those people video, brothers, about that pancakes that happened over there in Surfside, Miami, brothers, they tiptoe around the whole thing. They don't say anything about, wait a minute, 12 story, 40 days. You people, wait, you are paying for it. No, they all say it's construction error. It was a mistake. People in this truth, brothers, I watch their videos. They are very quiet. They don't say anything. They say, oh, well, hey, this could have happened to anyone. Thoughts and prayer to the family and stuff. But when we pray with boldness, when we stand in the front of the enemy, we start knocking his teeth out. People call it a Big Levi, man. You too strong, man. Calm down, man. Pray for the enemy, Big Levi. Pray. Those are the people that from generation to generation, they taught them how to love the enemy, love Satan. Forget about the Most High. Don't love the Most High, man. Love your enemy. 10 o'clock. All right. This enemy beat, rape, rob, and kill you. Love him. Don't listen about the Most High. Ask the Most High, can you scooch a little to the left and let Satan come here? We pray for Satan. Satan, go one day, brothers, if we pray so much for Satan, he's going to become God. Satan, come. This is the throne of the Most High. Sit. That's what those people want you to do. And I'm going to tell you straight up, man. Satan cannot change. All our life, brothers, for over 400 years, we've been praying for those people. It's time for us to pray against them. To hell with you. If you want the throne of my Father, of the Heavenly Father, the God of Abraham and Jacob, before your father, Satan, so be it. If you want to be out there and pray for your enemy because they are going through their trouble, so be it. If you want to go out there and not loving our Father and you loving the enemy more than the Father, so be it. Oh, yes, no, Brother Manolo, what you're calling Christian Hebrews, brothers. A sister sent me a link. There's a channel out there called Christian Israelites. I'm not kidding you. They are Christian. They wake up to the truth. They find out they were the children of God, yet they still have that white Jesus white in the world. They still wash. Forget everybody. Jesus is still there. They call it Yeshua now. To hell with you, man. I ain't gonna raise anything in front of the Most High. The Most High love this. I love this too. My father hate that. I hate that too. My father loved righteousness and uprightness. So do I. My father hate wickedness and evilness. So do I. To hell with you, man. I'm not doing this job to go to heaven, man. People think like, well, bigger. I don't care about going to the kingdom. I keep telling you this. I only care of doing my father's will. If my father's will is to give you this message and go back doing wickedness and got me killed, so be it. I did his will and I'm happy with that. My job is not to love the enemy so I can go to heaven. That's not what, I don't know about you. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is to please my father and do his will. Everything else, to hell with it. Let us move in, brothers. Dominant white society control black religion. Its ministers, its churches, catechism, if I'm saying this word right, catechism, okay, for religious instruction of slave commonly bore such as passage as, listen, who gave you a master, a mistress? God gave them to me. Who says that you must obey them? God says I must obey. That's what they used to tell the slave. Before they start anything, they told them, who gave you a master and a mistress? And then the slave said, God gave them to me. Who says that you must obey them? God says I must. When you obey the enemy and you disrespect the Most High, you disobey the Most High, you obey a man. These men do all kind of things to you and kill and rape and rob you. The first thing that come out of his mouth, he said, will you forgive me? After he been teaching you, hey, if you don't forgive, you won't go to heaven. As if, brothers, you and I have the key to heaven. We can open door and say, you get in, you get in. You will not get in, you will not. We don't even know if we will make it. Some people are so proud, say, oh, I will make it because I did this or that. I keep the law and stuff. Oh, really? You think that's how that works? You think with you telling the Father, well, I did everything that is in this book and stuff, I will make it. You think that's how that works? Oh, I'm baptized, I'm saved. I don't need to do anything else. I will make it. Oh, really? All right, then. I didn't know. Brethren, I keep telling you, if I had the key to the heaven, if I have the key to tell people how to get in there, brother, I would charge you, man. Oh, I will overcharge. Big Levi will be that massive scumbag that overcharge people to get in heaven. Oh, I'd be the worst pastor or preacher out there. I'll suck up all the money that you people have, man, who admitted you in heaven. Well, heaven or hell, what do you want? All your money and serve me for life. That's what I would have done. All right, that's what they used to tell the slave. A black congregation has the potential of being a source of unrest, so slave owner allowed the most pliable, compromising, and controllable blacks to become licensed as the ministerial head of black congregation. The licensed black minister were expected to encourage their fellow blacks to be meek, obedient, and accept of whites as masters. Till this day, you got brothers in this truth. They won't raise one finger against a white person. Oh, he's a Gentiles, man. We need to get in him and stuff. We're about to build something for the Most High. People already sent me an email. So what about the Gentiles? Where are they going to stay? What? The Most High first, man. The Most High first here, man. Again, I'm not telling you to act like me or follow me. Or hell, I'll tell you to act completely against me and do not follow me because I'm a blind man. I don't know where I'm going. But I'm telling you this straight up, man. There are things that I have in my heart. I'm going to sit in there and say, oh, I have love from everybody. Oh, hell no, man. I'd be a freaking liar. I have more love for the Most High than anything else. Everything else I hate. That's the truth. I don't have all love for everybody. There are certain things that what's going on, man? Certain brothers, certain sisters in this truth, brothers. I watch their videos. I'm like, this person is in that truth. and you're bowing down to this person, and you fear if that the big Levi, be careful. He could be an angel. Be careful. She could be an angel. No, you gotta read through the spirit, man. So you worshiping that angel, just worshiping that white man, that white woman, that other people. You raise up people above the Most High. You're doing things good. In fact, just you're hoping that person would be like an angel. Now you're doing good to this person. You're kissing this person bottom. Is that what that is? Or is that how you going out there purposely do things unto your enemy, hoping they are angels? Like I said, once the angels come upon you, you won't know when they come and when they go. And then after they left, and you realize, oh wow, that's what happened. Black ministers began cropping up across nation. Unlike in white communities, they became instant leaders. Popularity, respect, and income security came with their position. There were no educational requirements, only a social obligation to support the status quo between the races. You heard that, brothers? When our people were going through this mess, all you need to do to become a black preacher is to be very obedient, compromising. You got instant fame, and then the money's secure. Do you know how that is? When everybody else is working and you don't have to, not only you don't have to, but the money, the master's paying you to do this job. You know what that is, brother? You know what they say here? There were no educational requirement. You didn't even know how to read, know how to write, nothing. The Bible in your hand, you just keeping everybody down. You just keep telling them, hey, the Lord say, obey your master. God is your master. God is your what? God is your refuge. Jesus is your refuge. Okay, who is Jesus? The photo of Caesar Bucci. He is your Jesus. He is your God. They cannot read one verse out of the Bible. Yet they have it in their hand. They are preaching it unto you. Those guys get paid really well. They don't do any work. They keep the masses docile. That is why every time they shot and kill one of us, first Negro they sent out there is the preachers. They sent the Jesse Jackson, the Al Chapter. They sent the Negroes pray. Look, listen, we need unity, man. People think you can make it to heaven without love, man. It's all love, love, love. And they forget completely about the Most High. Like I told you, if you don't love the Most High won't teach you his love. That's why they say in the book of Psalm, you ask Father, teach me your love so I can teach the transgressor. If the Most High don't teach you your love, his love, you go out there, you're going to teach the wrong love. People often ask me, but Big Levi, why you always refer to the Most High as a great and horrible and terrible God? Why you don't call it the loving kindness like he is? And I told them, that's what we've been learning in church. The Most High is all love and kindness. And some of us, brothers, by birth, we are narcissists. We prey on people that have all love and kindness because we know that person have an everlasting mercy, an infinite mercy. So we use this person until we can't use that person anymore. When you know Father is all loving and kindness and great love that he is, a lot of our people out there, they are narcissists. They're going to keep using the Most High. Well, he loved me. He can't kill me. He made an oath with me, so he can't kill me. I'm going to keep doing the same bull that my ancestor was doing till this day. They're going to keep doing it. That's the love that you learn from the church. That's the love that those guys taught you. Beloved, when you start learning how horrible and terrible the Most High is, when you start seeing the things that he did, you fear him. And then you said in your head, I would never in my life do anything to piss off this guy. When somebody told you the Most High is all love and he love everybody gonna be saved, everybody gonna take advantage of this person. I'm speaking to all of our men in there. If we as men, we heard this woman, she let anybody inside of that bakery eating the pie and the muffin, the cookies and stuff. Everybody can get to that bakery. She's so lovable. She loves every man and woman and beast, everything. Most people will go to this bakery. Big Levi will be the first guy, will be at the head at this bakery, knocking people out so I can get inside of this bakery. I'll take all the advantage I can get from this bakery. I'm telling you the truth. But the other woman that have rules about her bakery and say, well, hey man, if you're gonna come here, I don't love everybody. You disease rid or you unwash hand or you mess up. You can't come to my bakery like this. You have to clean yourself and get things done, and then you come to the bakery. Thank you, Sister LY LW Black. I don't know why I keep calling this Sister LY, but anyway, LW Black. There's rules where the Most High is. When you are worshiping the Most High, brothers, you keep focusing, telling people, love, love, love. They don't know what love is, brothers. Again, I'm not against love or anything like that. Our people do not know what love is. You know why? Because ever since we've been here, all we know is hatred. All we know you are inferior. All we know we are slave. All we know you are dumb. All we know we are nothing but dirt. You are not the child of God. The love the enemy teach you, that's not what the true love is. The true love is when you start talking to the Heavenly Father and he will whisper secret things in your ear and will tell you, touch this, touch that. Don't touch this, don't touch that. And then once you learn this love, you're going to go out there, you're going to spread the love. That's what the church taught you. That's what those guys taught you. Beloved, when you see what the Most High can do to you, when the Most High take you out of your bed, brothers, and bring you to this horrible place, he said, look what I'm going to do to anybody that costs me. Brothers, if you went to this place and then you come back, you proud, you're like, oh well, I'm doing a great job. People say, Big Levi, I'm doing a great job, so I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want to do, blah, 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 blah. And then you think the Most High can't take you into story to this job. You will do every single thing, brothers. You will put all the dot on the I, cross all the T. Make sure everything is perfect in the eyes of the Most High. When you know how great and horrible and terrible this man, he doesn't respect anybody. Or Big Levi was doing a great job, the Most High take him. Or Big Judah was doing a great job, he doesn't respect anybody, man. You're nothing to him. When you go out there and taking advantage, oh, he's all loving kindness. I can do anything and he will forgive me. Oh, really? You think that's how that works? Is that what that is? That's what they told those pastors to teach our people. They don't teach. They don't tell them to tell God is all. He's so horrible that he put you in slavery. Don't tell them this. Don't tell them this. Me, myself, personally, I choose that horrible and terrible side of the Most High. Because in the church, I already know the loving kindness and all that, all stuff. I know this side. I come to learn the horrible and terrible side. I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy is horrible. That is why I'm very afraid when I'm doing his work. I doubt myself all the time. I never doubt the Most High. I said, wait. What if something happened over there and I get involved with eating some cookie and then the Most High got pissed off and then show her living snake up my ass? What's going to happen to me? That's what those people teach. All right, beloved, let us move in. In this arrangement, blacks were to remain loyal to whites, and worldly gratification was postponed until after death. You heard that? The licensed black preacher was supposed to defer to secular authorities on political matters and avoid comments of the injustice black suffers. When you are a black preacher, anytime you're speaking publicly, you never said anything our people suffer politically, the injustice. Thank you, Tracy Sweet. You never say, oh, as a black preacher, God said my people are supposed to live in abundance, cut the check. Don't say anything like that, Negro. Reparation, take that word out of your mouth. You better start talking about love, love, love. Love for the enemy. Forget about the Most High, man. Love your enemy so you can make it to heaven. If you don't love the enemy, first of all, you have no idea who the enemy is. There's a big difference between an enemy and an adversary. The enemy is your 12 tribe, your brethren, the one that opened the heart to the Most High. We got into a fight. My husband, we got into a fight. He's my enemy. My wife, we got into a fight. She's my enemy. Okay? I'm supposed to love her. I'm supposed to care for her. But anybody that hate the Most High, that's your adversary. That's not your enemy. Anybody that go against the loin of the Most High, that's your adversary. That's the devil. You're not supposed to love the devil. Anybody that tell you you're supposed to love the devil and show compassion unto Satan, that person is not with the Most High. All praises, man. Black minister begun cropping up across the nation, unlike in white community. Okay, we already read this. In 1783, for instance, Jesse Peters became one of the first black to receive a preaching license. He was appointed the lead America's Negro Baptist Church, the first Negro Baptist Church, located in Silver Bluff, South Carolina. Joseph Willis was the first to deliver a Protestant sermon west of the Mississippi. See what they are doing with our people now? That's what they are doing, brothers. All right. Now we're done with the ministers, the preachers. Thank you, beloved brother Larry. All right, let us go to a little history of California, brethren. A little of California. Now, listen, you have to read this story through the Holy Spirit, all right? William Lydensdorf. It's a Dutch name, okay? You can say Lydensdorf or Lydensdorf, all right? It's Leidesdorff, okay? Beloved brothers and sisters, everybody all right? Should I continue or wrap it up? Or you guys want me to continue tomorrow? Should we keep on trucking, brethren? Should we keep on going, beloved? Should we keep on going? I don't want the nation get bored or some people fall asleep. All right. Let us keep on going. The nation has spoken. It's just 10 o'clock, man. We got another hour. All right. Let us keep on trucking, brothers. Let us keep on trucking. William Lydensdorf, a first in many things. Occasionally a child born who is destined to become many things for his people. William Alexander Lydensdorf was such a child. Born in 1810 to a white father. Listen to this, okay? Thank you, Michelle Dackett. Okay? Born in 1810 to a white father from Denmark and a black mother from the Virgin Islands. Lydensdorf lived a life of first, including being the first black man with the Dutch last name of Lydensdorf. When William was a boy, the interracial family moved from the Virgin Islands to New Orleans. After his father died in 1839, Lydensdorf relocated to California. Like many Americans who went west, he became a naturalized Mexican citizen. So our people that used to move on this side, the moment they get there, they're no longer American. They become a naturalized citizen, a Mexican citizen. And then when that happened to you, guess what? The Mexican government gave Lydensdorf a land grant of 35,000 acres. Those are the true Mexicans. They are the blacks. Not that those are the true Mexicans. That's the true tribe of Issachar. They give you 35,000 acres. Beloved, do the math. 35,000 divided by 40 acres. How many people that is? 35,000 divided by 40, okay? 35 acres nestled in the bay of the California coast. The terrain was among the most spectacular of the entire coastline. Unbeknownst to the young man of the time, the tract would one day become the city of San Francisco. Eventually, Lydensdorf left the title to the land, but the details are unknown. 875 people. They give him land for 875 people. Okay? Those people that were supposed to give our people 40 acres, $100 and a mule. Okay, this man, he moved over there. They give him 35,000 acres. The land that he gave him, unbeknownst to him, after a few years, this land becomes San Francisco. Now you have it. Now you have it. San Francisco belonged to our people. And we know the whole land, brothers. We just pulling stuff. Okay? San Francisco. All right? The whole land was his. Let us read. Move forward, brothers. At age 29, Lydensdorf became the first black diplomat when he was named sub-consuls to the Mexican territory of Yerba Buena. All right? A name still borne by an island of the San Francisco Bay. After the United States annexed the California territory from Mexico, he became something of a financial adventurer and builder. In 1847, he launched the first steamboat on the San Francisco Bay. Lydensdorf went to build the first largest hotel in Yerba Buena, known as the City Hotel. The hotel was destroyed by one of the city's Great Fire, okay, the Great Fire of San Francisco, all right? Lydensdorf was one of the town's most prominent citizens. He served as city treasurer, established his first public school, and organized the first horse races in the state of America. He died in San Francisco at the age of 38, left to none will or heirs or his estate. So he died, brother, at the age of 38 because of pneumonia. Somebody is at the door. I don't know who that is. Thank you, brother John. He died. He didn't have any kids. He didn't have no wife. He didn't have nothing. All he had was his black mother. There was a white man. His name was Joseph Libby Folsom. Folsom heard that Lydensdorf, forgive me if I say the word wrong, he heard he died. The first thing he do, this is why those people are evil. The first thing he do, he run to the mother. The mother was illiterate. She didn't know anything. She didn't know how to read. She didn't know how to write. She was a black slave, a black woman slave. Now the son died. You see how the Messiah is a master, the checkmate everyone? All this land now belong to that black woman, all San Francisco. The son died and left the land for the mother. Now Folsom came in. He talked to the mother, pour some honey on her ear, and tell all the great, beautiful thing, how his son and stuff, and bought the land from the mother for $8,000. And that time, beloved, $8,000. Let me see the year. That was around 1843. $8,000. Anybody can search for us how much $8,000 was in 1848? The whole San Francisco bought it for $8,000. That poor black woman didn't know anything. That's unethical. That is thievery. That is not how you make a transaction. Beloved, never ever take advantage of a grieving widow, whether it's a man or a woman. Never take advantage of somebody that truly don't know what they are doing, especially the seniors. If a senior citizen try to sell you an iPhone, one of the children die, and then they say, well, give me $50. They don't really know how that thing costs. You got to tell them this was thousands of dollars, at least $1,000. The year is 1848, $8,000. Okay, how much was that? Okay, come to find out, the whole land was worth a minimum of $500,000, brothers. Okay, $8,000 back then was $3.4 million. The land costs a minimum of $500,000. He bought it from her for $8,000. $500,000 today, how much is that? 247 million? How much is it? Okay, wait, hang on. No, it was $247,000. Okay, he bought it for $247,000. That's cheaper than buying a house now anywhere here in this country. The land was worth $500,000. Excuse me. How much $500,000 was in 1848? He literally stole the land, the whole San Francisco land, from that black woman. He literally stole it. How much $500,000 was in 1843? $17 million. You'll see this, brothers. Our people didn't know any better. Instead of gave her that $17 million, he gave her $243,000. He stole the land. The man's name is Joseph Libby Folsom. Oh, you'll pay, man. You'll pay. The first persecuted witch, or witches. With rare exception, it seems intolerance breed intolerance, especially when the combination of blackness and the supernatural are involved. In 1679, just a little over a decade ago, after slavery was formally introduced, a black woman known only as one Negro testified in a witchcraft case in New England. Against whom she testified is unclear from available records, but it was probably against another black woman, because shortly thereafter, a black woman named Mary Black was tried, convicted, and imprisoned for witchcraft. Mary Black petitioned the court the following year, won her appeal, and was released. Now, let me tell you something, beloved brothers and sisters, okay? What you are calling witches, when it comes to our people, to those people who are nothing but witches and warlocks, okay? If they saw you a black woman, they call it a midwife. All black women midwife were considering witch. If a black woman, a midwife, they will never hire a black woman midwife to give birth to a white child, but in some cases it happened when there's no midwife white woman, and then the child, something happened, this child died 5 years later, this child died 8 years, 10 years later. They used to come back and take that black woman and hang her, because you are a witch. This child, you deliver her. If this child that you are deliver die for no particular reason, for whatever the reason that is, you are a witch, they will hang you. Okay, our people, okay, if you listen to all our call brothers, you got sisters saying, I see this, I see that, I had this dream, I see myself asleep. One sister calls, your sister say, I flew. My brother, my sister can tell you. They could not see me up there, but I was looking at them, I flew. You could not say those things back then. You are a witch. That's what they will tell our people. And you will see what they were calling the Salem witch trial. There was nothing but our people. They were murdering our women, murdering our men, calling them witches. And some of our people love this story. They love, and then well, unbeknown to them, okay, the Salem witch trial was nothing but a witch hunt unto our people. That's what it was. That has nothing to do with any other race but black folk. All right. Black women were prime targets for witchcraft charges. Such was the case in Salem, Massachusetts in 1692. The legendary Salem witch hunt began when the daughters of a well-known minister and influential citizen were challenged for frightening and unusual behavior. You heard that? They were frightening of an unusual behavior. They were just scared of an unusual behavior. That's like white people come, they walk in the hood, they saw brothers breakdancing, and then they feel that this is witchcraft. They saw a brother crip walk, they're scared of it. This is witchcraft. That's it. That's all it was. It was a fear behavior. They saw something that they fear, they call it witch, and the next thing you know, they trial all people, they kill them because they fear them. They just fear stuff. Yeah. For those of you who know that story, there was a black man somewhere in Alabama. He went to a mall. He was just sitting there eating his food, doing something, and a little white boy or a little white girl, a little white child came in and started crying, pointing at that black man. They called the police and removed this man from the mall. It's the same thing. They'll go somewhere, they see our people doing some stuff. They just see them sitting there. They got scared. They say, the reason I feel a presence upon me because you're a witch. And then they will have that person hang and kill. That's all it was, brothers. Nothing more, nothing less. Just a scared behavior. Yeah. The girls apparently ignited the firestorm by pretending they had satanic powers, okay? A local doctor diagnosed the girls as bewitched and under the influence of evil hand. When the town began to take them seriously, the girls confessed they had concocted the stories of Satanism. Their admission, however, was too late to save the women accused of witchcraft. This is what it was. Couple kids gets together, young virgin, and they are playing, brothers. And then they light some fire. And then they are playing around, and then they was trying to scare each other. They say, I like this fire with my power. Fear me. They were playing games. And then one of them got really, really scared. And then she run to their father, to their family, say, one of those black child lightning off a fire by the power of Satan. As if you can do anything like that, they'll give the praise to Satan. And then when they capture them, and then they start questioning. They say, no, we were just playing, and then we make the whole thing up so we can scare those kids who are praying scary. It was too late, man. This thing got way too real, way too fast. And then when they bring to them a local doctor, the local doctor examine them, do some tests on them, and say, well, you guys suffer from bewitched. That was a disease back then, okay? You guys suffer from bewitched, and you guys there's an evil hand in there. It's the same thing. People say, I heard a voice in my head telling me that. You go to a doctor, the doctor say, well, you are schizophrenia. Here's some pills. Take this. I moved my hand and my computer fell off the table. I moved my hand back. The computer got back on the table. I don't know how I did this. Well, you suffer from delusional grandeur. Take this and then go to this pharmacy and get some pills. And no different. That's what that is. No different than that. They just they went to a local doctor. The doctor, well, they are bewitched and there's an evil in it. And then they start arresting people. And then one black woman they arrested, they say, well, she's a witch too. And if you confess you're a witch, brothers, they will release you. They will just banish you. They will release you. And then she confessed she's a witch. They release her. She implicated a couple other people. And then they kill him. They kill the people that she implicated. They let her go. Anybody that if you admit you're a witch, they will let you go. And then anybody that you implicate, they will hang them. That's all it was, according to this book. California first and last black governor. Okay. Now listen to this. Listen good. Don Pio Pico, that's Spanish, or Don Pio Pico, was born in 1801. He was a black man and was one of the number of highly influential, politically involved African Mexican family that founded the city of Los Angeles. Black folks founded the city of the angels. Black people did, man. The Hebrew did. Our people did. During our trouble. Pico or Pico earned a niche in history when he was appointed by the Mexican government as governor as the Californian territory. In that position, he represented the interests of the Mexican government during a critical time in the relationship between the United States. Chief among the problematic issue was slavery. So he didn't like slavery. That was a problematic issue. Southern planters and their slaves were pouring into Texas to establish cotton plantation. But Mexico, which still controlled Texas and California, prohibited slavery. So back then, Mexico did not want slavery because all the true Mexicans were black folks. Dr. Claude Anderson told you this. All the true Mexican heroes were nothing but black people. They didn't want their brothers and their sisters to suffer this. In the end, American frontiermen, listen, in the end, American frontiermen and planters intentionally triggered a war with Mexico to justify slavery and to annexation of Southwest land in what would become the state of Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, and California. All praises to the Most High. Those people intentionally start a war so they can steal those land from the black Mexican. So all those land belong to black folks. Our people, the state of Texas, the state of New Mexico, the state of Colorado, the state of Utah, the state of Nevada, the state of Arizona, and the state of California. Now you understand why there's a massive drought on those places right now. Because you don't belong there. It's not yours. And you're being swept above. Following the fall of the Alamo and the merciful brief war between the United States and Mexico, the United States laid claim to the new lands. The two countries signed a peace treaty in 1847, and Don Pico was quickly removed from office and become the first and only black, not to mention Mexican, governor of California. All praises to the Most High. They call it the Great Alamo. Remember Alamo. It's all lies. All lies. The reason why they take those states, Mexico did not want any slavery. There was a black man directing all the states. They purposely start a war, and then they won the war, and then they took all those land. The moment they took the land, they took Pico, they removed him from office and sent him away. And they took all those land. Remember the Alamo. Oh, hell no, man. These guys are thieves. The first cowboys. I'm talking about the real cowboy, the genuine cowboy. I'm talking about the cowboys, real cowboys. I'm not talking about, the speaker smoocher, but I'm talking about the real cowboys, sir, okay? The first cowboy. All right, brothers, sisters, or the one that are sleepy, you may go to sleep, brothers. You can watch this anytime. You can go to sleep. The real cowboys, not the other way around. No, brothers, who were the real cowboys? Let us read. Until Lil Nas X get into this thing and mess up the whole thing. Contrary to the images created by Hollywood, black slaves were America's first authentic cowboys. The word cowboy, in fact, originally had nothing to do with whooping cattle and hell raising in the high plain. The word cowboy grew out of social custom and did not allow black males to be addressed as Mr. or Min, especially gentlemen or any other title that conveys status. You heard that? The reason why they were called cowboys, because back then you were not allowed to refer to a black man as a sir, gentleman, a man of respect. You call them boy. Hey boy, hey boy. You couldn't, that the term boy was derogatory. Is that what that is? It was the same as calling them niggers. Hey boy, stable boy. The black man, the black slave that here to taking care of the stable. The cowboy, the boy that was there to take care of the cattle. And you got the field boy, the black man that walked, the field boy, the one that work in the field, the house boy, the black Negro that walk in the house. That is why, till this day, our people got that bad habit. Hey, it's your boy, Big Levi. You know your boy got you and stuff like that. Don't talk like that, brethren. You're a man. You don't call yourself a boy. It's your boy Levi. Here, men stuff. It's your boy this. It's your boy what. Thank you. By words. Those are all prophecy, brother. The word cowboys is prophecy. They will call you by words. Oh, yeah, well, the same go for women, too. Oh, I'm your girl, this, it's your girl, that. That's how people talk. By words. It's your boy, Big Levi. You know your boy got your back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No more, man. Sir, men, gentlemen, brothers, sister. This is your humble servant, Big Levi. I'm not your boy, Big Levi. What is this, man? And then they had the other word, underboy, okay? Underboy was a personal body servant doing civil war, okay? They had the term boy, cowboy, houseboy, field boy, stable boy, underboy. All of those terms all people were until we start making it cool. Listen, after the Civil War, New Land Rush laws sparked the Western movement. 15 million new European immigrants arrived in the latter part of the 1800s. But the ranching and cattle industry at the Southwest, especially along the Texas Gulf Coast, was wholly dependent on black labor. Okay? Many of the slaves served as cowboys, okay, was wholly dependent cowboys before they were freed. Nearly 1/3 of the 35,000 cowboys who drove cattle north from Texas between 1866 and 1895 were all black. So the cowboys were the guy that drove the cattle from Texas to another state. Then they will carry guns when they get attacked by thieves, and then they will defend themselves and shoot. They were heroes. That's what they were. Thank you, end of time sign. That's where they were. That's where they were, beloved. Cowboys. Guess what? Excuse me. Many of these black cowboys distinguished themselves in the cattle town of the whole West. Some of their achievement, okay, listen to this, brothers. Some of their achievements were a credit to their race. Others were not. In Dodge City, for instance, the first man shot was a black man. Okay, the first man shot was a black cowboy named Tex. Now you understand the little TV show Tex and Mex. Thank you, Janice Esau, sister. Tex was the first black man, the first black cowboy. He got shot in a gun battle. He was an innocent bystander. He got shot. The first black man that got arrested was another cowboy, but he was part of a posse. Oh, guess what, man? When they arrested this dude, he's cool. his homies band together. They storm the town. And then they start shooting in the air. They cause a large confusion. People were running, and they did a jailbreak, and they break the brother out of jail, and then they left the place. All the country, all white folks heard about this. It was beautiful, man. They were booking song about this, man. You got a bunch of group of brothers. They arrest one of the brother. They were so pissed off. They take this man. All the cowboys came with their gun, and they start shooting. People are running, and then they bust the brother out. Even the people that was in the prison, they all run. Then the brother went in there and they opened the prison. They get him out. That was the first ever jailbreak. It was done by our people, cowboys. When you see those scenes on TV, those are all stories. And then now cowboy, when you say cowboy, people think you're talking about some white dude with some gun shooting an Indian. They made it all about them being heroes shooting Indian around here. That has nothing to do with that. There's a cowboy. You guys know about Nate Love? Nate Love. Nate Love was another black boy, black cowboy with questionable character, widely known as Deadwood Dick. Anybody watch that show, Deadwood? Deadwood was about a black man. I believe Professor Black Truth, peace be with the brother, he talked about Deadwood being one of his favorite TV show. May peace be with the brother. Okay, Deadwood, if you watch that TV show, it's story of black folks. Swagger Jack, hijack, steal everything. For those of you who know Deadwood, okay? Nate Love, aka Deadwood Dick. Love was said to have ridden with Billy the Kid, Jesse, and Frank James, and Buffalo Bill. Nate Love was a bad mofo, man. Nate Love was one badass. And brothers, all those guys they are telling you, Billy the Kid and all those cowboys, a lot of them were black folks, Virgin. You know, you cannot be a cowboy if you're not black. The very word cowboy mean black men that do the caroling and stuff like that. You could not be a cowboy if you weren't black. Okay? Nate Love was one bad mother, okay? Cherokee Bill was another black cowboy, okay? Cherokee Bill was similar to Billy the Kid and everything but skin color, according to historian. If you know Billy the Kid, you know Cherokee Bill. They were pretty much the same. It's just he was black. They were bad mother out there. Not all black cowboys live the kind of dangerous short lives in the Old West. That is the Hollywood stereotypes. Lone Ranger, yeah. They're Hollywood stereotypes, okay? Thousands of black cowboys were lawmen, aka proper police officer, lawmen. They weren't police officer. Back then, they didn't call them police officer. They called them lawmen, laymen, or lawmen, not police officers. Now they call police officers doesn't uphold the law. Okay? They uphold white supremacy. That's all. Okay? Thousands of black cowboys were lawmen. Popular heroes, buffalo soldiers, or just plain ranchers and farmers. Yet, only a few black cowboys, good or bad, can be found in history book. If you go in a history book, brothers, you won't find a few black cowboys. When 99% of all the cowboys, all 100% of the cowboys were blacks. You could not be a cowboy if you were white, because the very word cowboy means boy. The word boy means Negro or nigger. That's what it means. Cow niggers. That's what it means. They swagger jacket. All those movies they are making, they stole all the stories that our people were doing back then, and then they copied and pasted on themselves. A fistful of dollar. That's why the fistful of dollar, what that fellow named, who played that guy again? I forgot his name. That's why his name was a man with no name. Because they know if they give that man a name, you can research and say, wait a minute, this story was all about black folks. A few dollar more. Clint Eastwood, thank you. I don't know why did I even forget the name of Clint Eastwood, but it was Eastwood, Clint Eastwood. Play a man with no name. They know if they put that name on the poster of the movie, you cannot watch all of it. Whoa, what is this name? What the stuff. That's what those people do, man. Swagger jacking all the way. Anyway, beloved. Now, brothers, let me see. We got another 40 minutes. Okay. Let me see if I can go very fast in this. All right. Now, let's this is very important. I'm not going to gloss over that. This is very important. Okay? All right. Anybody clear on the story of cowboys, right? Everybody clear on that story? We understand the very word cowboy mean our people. Everybody clear? All right. Beloved, all right then. Give me 1 minute. Let me look up for a book right there. Give me 1 minute, okay? 1 minute. All right, beloved brothers and sisters, we're back. And don't buy this book. Okay, this book is personally, I would not recommend you to buy that book. It's not what you think it is. You can buy it to watch, but I read this book back in 2013, 2014. It's called Poison River by Gilbert Hernandez. This is a horrible book. And you will know why this book is horrible. Okay, I will show you. Somebody remind me at the end. If I don't get to it, I will. If you want to get it, but I do not recommend this book at all. It's a horrible book, brothers. But again, you can okay, yeah, it's called Poison River. The way I got this book, brothers, I had a dream. And then my dream was the weirdest dream ever. Guess what, brother? I saw this woman. I saw her in my dream. I saw her. She was in a river. And then when I was passing by, I forgot what I was saying. I forgot what I was doing. And then and she looking at me and she said, Poison River, Poison River. I'm like, what? What the hell is what is this? She said, Poison River, Poison River. And then I woke up from the dream. I'm like, this is weird. Poison River. And then I tap on Amazon, Poison River. And then the moment she pop up right in front of me, I'm like, whoa, this is weird. And I bought the book, brother. And I read the book. I was so disappointed. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why did I saw this woman in this book until I find out about a passage on this? And then, boom, that's what the most I downloaded in my head 8 years ago. And then I find a clue. I'm like, there you go. That's what the most I wanted me to know about the dream that I have. So if you want, you can get this book. It's a horrible book, and I'll show you what it is, okay? Terrible thing, man. I will ask if I even went into it, because I'm planning not to go into this book. I can clearly remember the dream. Now, beloved brothers, let us keep on moving, okay? Now, understand this. Our people were the first in everything. There is one, anybody can, well, I'm not going to even ask that. I'm just going to go. The first horse racing jockeys were black. All of them. All of them. I will elaborate a little, Sister Nicoya, or Brother Nicoya. I will elaborate just a little on that book. Horrible book. Listen good, brothers. From the early days of horse racing until the early 20th century, most of the handlers, trainers, listen, most of the handlers, trainers, breeders, groomers, and jockeys were black slaves. Black jockeys dominated the race industry throughout the 19th centuries. That's a force our people had. Blacks were responsible for the daily care of livestock on farm and plantation. They performed similar duty and versus carriage and all that, okay? Now, the first, in the first Kentucky Derby, 14 out of 15 jockeys were black. The Kentucky Derby. Go watch the Kentucky Derby right now, brothers. You won't find, I don't know if you will find a black person here. When all of them were, it was a black sport. Black folks invented the jockeys. Horse racing was invented by black folks, dominated by black slaves. Listen to this. In that race, a black jockey, Olive Lewis, rode Aristides, the winning horse. Ike Murphy, born a slave in Lexington, Kentucky in 1861, was considered by some of the greatest jockey of the 19th century. He was the Michael Jordan of horse racing. He was the LeBron James of horse racing. And yet this is the first time I ever read about this guy. Is it, brother, do you know that fellow? Isaac Murphy or Ike Murphy. Did you guys know about him? He was the Michael Jordan of jockey. I didn't even know this. They were all black folks. I had no idea. Murphy's mother did laundry for a racing stable. In his early years, he exercised horses for stable in the area, became most jockey in the time were black. It was not difficult for Murphy to enter the profession because it was all black. Okay, he rode his first race at age 14. During his 20 years carry, Murphy raced 1,412 times, winning 628 out of them, racing in the Saratoga, New York circuit in 1882. He won 49 of his 51 races. He only lost 2. You know how great that is, brothers? You race 51 times, you only lost 2 races. He was a black man. It was a black sport. Just like basketball now become a black sport. Well, it was. I see a bunch of other people in there. And then it's all white now. A bunch of, most of the black players, they're all retiring. They really don't care. Now it's a bunch of light-skinned Negro, white Negro, whatever, man. Murphy won his first Kentucky Derby in 1884, repeating his feat in 1890 and 1891. Damn! The brother was good. 5 years later, at the age of 35, he died of pneumonia. After his death, Murphy was introduced in the House of Fame for True Racetrack, Pimlico, Maryland, and Saratoga, Florida. Isaac, listen to this, brothers. Isaac Murphy, Jimmy Lee, and Oliver Lewis established track records at the Kentucky and the American Derby that still stands today. You heard that, brothers? Those brothers 150 years ago, 107 years ago, they got records that's still standing today. Nobody can break those records. All praises to the Most High. This is the Most High showing you, even though we were going through under Jacob's trouble, under this slavery, all those things, all people were still marvelous, man. Isaac Murphy, first time I hearing this guy. Jimmy Lee, first time. And Oliver Lewis established track records at the Kentucky and American derbies that still stand today. You cannot beat our people, man. How the hell? Those people you can't even, those guys can't even beat our horse race. How the hell they got technology to make things, to make it rain, to make the rain? They could make it rain, yet they don't use this rain to go ahead over there in Canada and put the rain and put that town, that fire that they had in town, that town they had on fire, to put the fire out. Those people got so much high techs in their movies, beloved brothers and sisters. Guess what? Anybody saw that pancakes that happened down in Miami? What technology they're using? Plastic bucket. Zaza! You don't have any anti-gravitational or technology. You can wave that your technology and raise all those rubbles. You're using plastic buckets in your hand. You are not that great, man. Those people are not that great, brethren. No, they are not, man. Those people always raise themselves above everything. Now, listen, brothers. The last derby jockey. Now, brothers, now when you're watching on TV, which one of you, I can't, brothers, I can't name one jockey, one whether it's white or not. Anybody can hear it on top of your, excuse me, on top of your head. Anybody can name a jockey. It was horse racing there's a lot of money in horse races, brothers. Our people used to make millions, literally billions in horse races. As today, we are completely wiped out of that industry that we created. For the life of me, I have no idea who's jockey. I heard about Kentucky Derby, horse racing, and all that scumbag stuff, but I never knew it was our people's stuff. Our people don't even watch this thing. Tell me one black man talk about like horse racing, jockeys. Yeah, the movie Seabiscuit, all of those stuff were all people's story. Seabiscuit, the swagger jack, Isaac, okay? Isaac, out of his 51 races, he lost 2. He won 49. All praise. Okay, that thing said it's buffering. Okay, all right, I think it's good. The last derby. Jess Long Conley, who earned his nickname by riding numerous underdogs to victory in the 1890s, was the last black jockey to ride in the Kentucky Derby, riding Colston in 1911. Long shot, Conley finished third in the Kentucky Derby, the last major racing event permitted to black jockeys. They start swagger jacking and pushing our people away from the sport. Okay, they start bringing their weak men in there and bring all the strong brothers in there and push them aside. Just like that rap music. Look at rap music now. When big business entered the sport, blacks saw their woes reduced to non-riding menial jobs. During the first decades of the 20th century, white and Latino replaced blacks. And you're gone. Big business coming, they took over and then they push you out. Soul music. You don't even hear about soul music anymore. Blues, black man music. You don't hear those things anymore. R&B, Marvin Gaye. You don't hear things like that. Folk music. You don't hear things like that. Even true, we're gonna get my ass for this. So even gospel music, brothers, nothing but trash and garbages. Country music, brothers, you don't hear black people sing country music like this. The last country music that you heard that was popular was a cowboy music. Now that's not the real cowboy. That was a country music when you was listening, brothers. Rock and roll. The very word rock and roll is another pseudo word for baking. Rock and roll. Also baking was an expression for baking. Pop music. It's all gone. They push you out of it. Even brothers, the sweet, slow music used to hear R. Kelly singing and all the people. Now you don't hear them anymore. All you hear is like that guy. You say I'm crazy, but you don't know, I think, what you've done. A bunch of copycats. A bunch of people, they locked up in a studio with a bunch of blacks, and then the black people are singing and say, do like me, okay? Repeat, okay? You say I'm crazy. Now those people are out there sing. What happened to this guy? What happened to those people? What happened to that guy that came in? It's I'm breaking you now. Don't be don't want you back. Yeah, that's so they start pushing you out. Now what they give you, look at them second to me. Second they got that money. I just have sex with this girl. When I look at there down there, she got the symptoms that I have. The garbages, they push you out. You got nothing but trash now. Where's that other DMX, that other Big and Tupac? You don't have that. Yeah, man. You got that fake fellow. He's Swagger Jack, Redman. Now he's considering a rap god. All his stuff, he stole it. I don't want to make this about rap brothers. He stole everything from Redman. And this man right now, he's not one of us. Next thing you know, he's in the midst of. They always have to prop this guy with 50 Cent. They have to prop him with Tupac, Biggie. Put him up. They keep propping this guy. He look nothing like us. Yes, he's considering a rap god, the greatest white rapper out there. That's Redman. That guy, see, he Swagger Jack Redman, all stuff. People, our own people. Oh, he's one of the top 10 rappers and stuff. They push you out. You have nothing now. You used to have what they call African beats. Well, African, what there's a name for it. African, they took you out of this. They eliminate all our people. They push them out, just like in the Jackies. Now a bunch of pop music. You got Taylor Swift. You got Adele. What are those people? When Adele came on, brothers, I'm like, wow, that's a beautiful black woman voice. Just like Robert Tick. Lost without you, can't of myself, I don't feel. This music come in 2007. When I heard this, I'm like, whoa, this black man got a great voice. And I look at, what is this? They push you out. That's why there's no more rap. All you hear them, I'm gonna shoot that nigga. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna shoot you, Stu. Whatever, man. Whites and Latino replace blacks in the racing industry on the few relics that remains as a testament to black involvement in professional racing are the rare lone jockeys that guard suburban driveway. Some student of black history believe this icon evolved not from the black jockey era, but from the image of the royalty, okay, from the slave coach, footman, and steady fast and all that stuff, okay? All right, so the first president that was ever arrested was arrested by a black man. The first president that ever get arrested, no other president get ever arrested. They said that's scumbag Donald Trump. It's the first president that was ever arrested was arrested by a black man, a black policeman. All praises to the Most High. What happened is, beloved brothers, there was an officer named Officer William West that was in the 19th century. Officer William West was on his post, and when he was doing his routine patrol, and he noticed a horse coming with full speed with a carriage. The horse was running full speed, but there was nobody riding the horse. Technically, it was a speeding thing if it was right now. And then Officer Williams got on his horse, and then he chased after the horse, and then he grabbed the horse rope, and then he pulled it, he slowed down the horse. And then the officer get down with his authority, and then he walk up to the to the coach, and he opened the door, and then when he looked, he saw President Grant. Grant was all top. President Grant was like all stuff, and then he stand back. He saw his superior, say, "Sorry, sir, everything is good. You can move, sir." And Grant like, "Wait, hey, hang on. He comes and wait. Grant take that dreadful swing. Hold on, man. You can't go out there and stay, hey, man. Stand by, man. Listen, man. You know American people, man. They despise anybody being above the law. You're gonna have to arrest me." And he said, "Yes, sir." And William, the black man, take Grant, put handcuff on Grant, and arrested Grant and put President Grant in prison. His name was William West. And later, when President Grant get out of jail, he promote Mr. West to a policeman, okay? To West to a mounted policeman. All praises to the Most High, all right? All praises, man. You know, Grant was all messed up, man. They don't say it here, brothers. They don't say it here, but you know for a fact what Grant was gone, you know, so to speak. You know, Grant probably could be the ancestor of Boris Johnson. Zaza. All right? The first black newspaper had purpose, okay? The first black newspaper was in 1827, just 34 years before the Civil War commenced. Freedom's Journal, all right? And the whites, they find out that the blacks have a newspaper. They boycotted. They sent all kind of stuff. All right, and then they were the New Yorker, the New York Inquiries. Okay, an official white run by a Hesh fellow. Okay, his name was John B. Roseworm. Okay, no. His name was Mordecai Manuel Noah. Okay, was a Hesh guy. Okay, so our people, they were fighting with words and stuff like this. Our journals was so good. You know what? This is what they did to us, brothers. It's the same thing happening today. Let me read this for you. Okay, in support of slavery, Mordecai Manuel Noah, the Enquirer's eminent Jewish publisher, went out of his way to vilify and degrade blacks. To counter Noah's propaganda, John B. Roseworm, the Reverend Samuel E. Cornish, and other free blacks met in the New York home of Boston Cromwell, a respected leader in the city's small free black population. After a series of discussion, the leaders selected Cornish and Roseworm, two of the youngest, best educated men among them, to accomplish the job. Freedom's Journal, which was the black journal, was considering subversive literature in the South, and blacks were prosecuted for possessing copies of it. They find one black man, one black woman with the copy, whether you are free or not, with the copy of the black journal on you, you get prosecuted and put in jail. And then you're wondering, and then you guys are out there saying, why you black folks are so stupid? Well, you did a great job. According to Dr. Claude, you did a great job. You arrest our people for possessing journal. It was so powerful. Listen, brothers. The journals sold were among blacks until its editorials began to focus more on a fringe back to Africa movement rather than the daily issue confronting black community across the country. That's what it was. Oh, that black, the power was going to get it until, beloved brothers and sisters, they focus on go back to Africa. Then they lost contact, they lost focus of the whole thing, and then the whole thing went under the garbage. Our people were doing right on our land and stuff until they go back to, hey, go back to Africa and stuff like that, because white people told me to go back there. White people told me that's where I'm from, and that's where I'm from. What about all those black people there? That's what happened. Now, brethren, we are going to get into two things, and then we're going to close. We're going to get into Jim Crowism, blackface, understand what happened, and then we're going to close. Beloved, now I'm going to go into this book. This will bring me into that book, that horrible book. Blackface symbolize Jim Crowism. Jim Crow, which is today synonymous with legalized segregation, was originally a character in a minstrel show song and a dance popularized in 1828 by a white comedian named Thomas D. Rice, aka Daddy Rice. Okay? You got this white man. Give me a second. My apology, forgive me. There was a white man named Daddy Rice in 1828, right? Is that what that is? 1828. A white man, his name was Daddy Rice. How did he come up with the minstrel show? He used to perform in theaters. And then one day he saw a black boy, a black kid dancing, singing and dancing. And then when he looked at that kid, that scumbag, he imitated, he swagger jacked the kid. He painted his face black. And with his New York accent, he will go on stage and act like that kid and stole the kid's move. He was so good at this, okay? Rice was so good that his fellow thespian eventually dubbed him the first and best knight of the burnt cock. Jim Crow eventually became a star character in all Rice's minstrel shows. The whole thing took over, brothers. Why? Listen, later, Rice was in a circuit by a crowd newly arrived white immigrants. Now you got a bunch of immigrants from Europe. They come here and all they see this guy imitating black people, make fun of them, and they were making money. All those white immigrants want to do that too, and they start doing this. They start imitating our people. You know, they start like humiliating our people, and then these things start going all over the country. Guess what? Blackface was taken aboard in the 1900s. When we're talking about aboard, he went other country, brothers. In preparation for the singing of for the signing of a treaty with Japan, American sailor aboard the Commodore Matthew C. Perry even performed a shipboard minstrel show for a Japanese audience. So this guy dressed like a black man, doing stuff, and he performed a show for the Japanese. The Japanese were so happy. They laughed so hard how our people are being ridiculed on stage. The Ammonites, they laughed so hard that they copy, beloved brothers and sisters, the blackface minstrel show, and they imported it to Japan. The Japanese audience ate the show, laughing up righteously at the antic and dialect of the white sailor and blackface. The blackface symbol soon become a part of Japanese culture, okay? And language so much that 150 years later, the Japanese were still producing symbol artifacts and advertising for darkies. Till this day, toothpaste, blackface character spread to other countries. As recently as 1996, Latin America company advertised pizza with symbol images. Then that brought me to this place, to this book. In 1996, Latin America, they were advertised the pizza with symbol of a black face. Remember I told you about that book? Back in 2013, 14, I was dreaming and I saw a woman in a river whispering to me, Poison River, Poison River. And then she was bare breast and stuff. And I'm like, what do you mean? She said, Poison River, Poison River. And I woke up and then I tap it on Amazon and then this book pop up. And then this was the woman in this book. And this is what all the most I wanted me to see. This. You see this little boy right here? His name is called Pedro. This is how they portrayed our people. That's in Latin America. This story takes place in Latin America. They ridiculed this boy. This boy had really no part of the book, brothers. There's a moving scene on this. Again, this book, brothers, let me show you why I don't recommend this book, okay? Let me show you. It's a very violent book, all right? A very violent book, all right? Forgive me, brothers. Forgive me, sisters. This is why I don't recommend this book. Okay? If you catch my drift. Okay? Horrible book. And it's the truth, brothers. All the stuff they were doing in there. The truth. Now. Okay? Let me show you another. There you go. I cannot show you this. I cannot show it too clear, but let me describe it to you. There's two women there. Okay? And the woman that is behind the other woman is not a woman at all. It's a woman. It looks like a woman, but she has the same tools that a man has. She had a third leg, and it's all that is about. This is based on a true story. This little boy, brother, his name is Pedro. It's a very subliminal book. It's a minstrel black faces. When you read this book, beloved, again, it's not something that a lady boy. It's not this guy. He's all into that lady boy thing. This book is dated back in the 50s. What happened in this book, brothers? The story is so graphic. It's so violent. It makes no sense. Yet that's the culture of those people, brothers. When they say that what this man, Daddy Rice, did, it went all the way. Then it got to this book, brothers. This is how deep it is. In this book, brother, there is a young lady. She was talking to a man, and she told the man said, well, come live with me and stuff like that. I will take care of you because you're a woman, you cannot work and stuff. And she said, are you serious? Wait, you think I'm like Pedro? Black, stupid, dumb, illiterate, don't know how to read, don't know how to write. I don't go to school. I steal everything and stuff. I'm not Pedro. Because Pedro was used for all of those things, brothers. They make movie about him. He's in all over stuff. They are showing Pedro. Pedro is a black man, a minstrel show and stuff. And the Most High say, all those people that did this to his children is going to come after you. They refer to Pedro in this book all over. Nothing but negative things they always say about him. All of you will pay. That was the message the Most High downloaded in my head, and then he showed me to this. Like 8 years later, that was this dream all the time. Some of your dream, brothers, you will never understand it until the time is right. That was the dream. The Most High say those people, they are mock. This guy, Gilbert Hernandez, and his family and his people, they all mock for destruction. Yeah, who's laughing now? Look at that South America, Latin, whatever stuff, our lane over there. All right? Okay? Black schools, we got one more page, brothers. That's one page, and then we're good, all right? One page, then we're good. Black school were taboo. By the early 19th century, the idea of educating free black children was still highly unpopular, and whites saw it as subversive, and the interests of whites dominant white society had enacted an endless number of laws, ordinance that public policy designated to keep black children and uncompetitive white children. Okay, brothers. So those of you that think this thing is not harm, they used to lynch black people. They call them Pedro. They say, "You stupid! You come here to rob us." And Pedro was a rapist too. He liked to rape women and talk bad about women. When they see a black man, a black woman, they dub them as Pedro or Pedra, and then they kill them because of what they saw in this thing. Okay, those things are harmful. All right. Now, brothers, there was a brother. His name was Macpherson. Okay, he opened the first black school, and he hired a white teacher. 25 free black kids show up. That was back in early 1900, and the kids start learning. Now, Macpherson start to print in the black. He start printing in a newspaper. He start advertising. He had a black school for black children. The whites were so terrified because once you start know how to read, you will know how to read the Bible. Then when you read Genesis 15 verse 14, you're going to realize, wait a minute, I got another 200 or 150 years to live. Stop. It's going to become a problem. Now the whites start complaining. The rich white men, the rich white women, and they go to the newspaper. They threaten the guy. They threaten him. They say, listen, don't publish any of this guy's stuff. He said, whoa, what the hell, man? He pay me and stuff. They threatened him, so they didn't want to open up, publish the guy. So now they have the police harassing Mr. Ferson. They are harassing him. Listen to this. UG's the white scholar teacher. They threatened that white teacher. Okay, UG's the white school teacher was made a sterner stuff. He bought space and argues himself, defending the school and pledged to continue teaching until authority closed it. The powers that he took UG's challenge, which made officials summon Macpherson to court and ask him to demonstrate why his school should not be declared a public nuisance. The white teacher that was teaching in the school, there's nothing a teacher loves than kids that want to learn. This white teacher probably was disrespected in the white school. He find his job, and the kids, they want to learn. They stay quiet. They ask good questions. This white teacher feel respected. And then they threaten him. They say, you cannot teach those guys, or we're going to do stuff to you. So he challenging them. And then they sue the black man that opened the school, Macpherson. They call him to court. They say, you're going to have to prove to us why your school is not a nuisance, why your school is not a pestilence. You have to prove to us, give us one good reason not to kill you and then destroy your school, because your school is a nuisance. The police harassed Macpherson, forcibly drove Hughes out of town, and shut down the black school. They took that white teacher, they took him by force, the police. They shipped him out of the town, and then they forced the black men to close the school. And then you people are wondering why are people so stupid? You're wondering why our women will get on top of police car and twerking? This is why. You're wondering why our men are talking, you did this. This is on your back. You didn't want them to learn anything, so they want to read the Bible. That's all it was. That's all it was, preacher. Good night, sister. Go to sleep. Get some rest. I don't want to keep the people for too long, brothers. I know sometimes it took me so long to make a point, okay? All right? Guess what? To add insult to injury, months later, Macpherson advertised his desire to establish a seminary of learning of the arts and sciences for black as soon as he could find a proper tutor. This time, before he could reopen the school, the police arrested Macpherson and shipped him to Virginia Williamsburg Lunatic Asylum. This is how evil those people were. This is what our people were suffering under when they were going to Jacob's trouble. The brother said, okay, I'm not going to open a school, but I'm going to open a place for you can learn arts and science. The police, before I even open the school, the police go to the house, they grab him, they arrested him, and then they lock him up inside an asylum. They say, you Negro, you're crazy. And then you people are wondering, like, why black people acting like, why they're not so progressive? Because every single thing our people try to do, every single thing we are doing, you coming over there, you sabotage it. You use your white supremacist scumbag out there, your muscle to muscle our people, shoot and kill our people, intimidate our people. We're on YouTube studying this book, praying. You usually the white supremacists cutting off the internet, messed up with our stuff, and then you're asking, why you people are like this? What's going on here? That's what you guys did. All right, one page, we're done. The last returned fugitive slave. Until the eve of the Civil War, escaped slaves were still returned to their masters in the South under the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850. Lucy Bagby Johnson was the last fugitive slave, captured and shipwrecked back to her former owner under the Act. Police officer abducted Johnson from the home of a white employer in Cleveland, Ohio in 1861. A group of local white citizens organized to protest Johnson's arrest, acquired the assistance of sympathetic lawyers who successfully defend her in court. But as soon as she was set free, United States Marshal, once again acting under the Fugitive the Fugitive Slave Act, arrested her. A federal commissioner who heard the case turned out to be sympathetic, offering money to buy Johnson her freedom. But he had also ruled that the law was the law. Then Lucy Johnson, and to be returned to her West Virginia masters who was unwilling to accept compensation for her freedom. When the Civil War was begun, Johnson's determined master tried to maintain his ownership by moving her further into the deep South, where pro-slavery sentiments were more rigid than the rest of the country. Johnson was eventually rescued from her owner's vicious grip by a Union officer who took a liking to her. After President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, Johnson met and married another former Union officer who settled in Cleveland, Ohio. The couple remained there until her death in 1906. A sister runaway slave, and then they caught her. She went to trial. They judged her. She was released. The moment she was released, the U.S. Marshal, again, those law enforcement, they arrested her and tried to bring her back to her masters. They offer money to take her out. The master said, oh, hell no. I don't want your money. I want my slave. I want my property back. Until a Union officer fell in love with her and go down there and rescue her and took her out of the hand of the vicious master and then brought her back and married her, and she died in 1906. This is the type of scumbag your police officer was doing back then until now. And you're wondering why there's a massive amount of exodus in the police officer now. Why the war is killing them like that. Why is this? Why is that? Why that pancakes on the serve? Judgment time. The last boat load of slaves. International slave trading was outlawed in the United States in 1807, okay? But illegal international and domestic slave, legal slave trading continued right up until the Civil War began. The Clough Hill dock in Alabama in 1859 with the slave cargo, making it possible the last ship to bring illegal slaves in the American port. The ship carried approximately 130 men, women, and children, and who had been kidnapped from Takar, a village in West Africa. The ship's captain, William Fowler, eluded federal authority patrolling the Mississippi Sound, unloaded his ship in Mobile, Alabama, then said farewell to slave trading by burning it. Unfortunately for Fowler, The pending civil war was drastically closed down most slave markets. He was unable to sell the slave, so he set them free as soon as the war started. This last shipment of black slave was able to stay together and form a village, Africa Town, in an area known as Plateau near Mobile. They were probably the only blacks able to keep the African custom, names, and language. Descending and this black slave can still be found in East Mobile. Coach Joe Louis is the last known of the original Taka slave, died in 1935. What happened there, brothers? Um, slavery was made illegal the moment in 1804, but they recognized that in 1807. In 1804, when the Haitian won the revolution, they made a declaration. They say all blacks around the world are free. Any blacks, you're a slave anywhere. You put your feet in Haiti, you become a Haitian citizen. We'll give you land. You will live free in the kingdom and stuff. And then the emperor, the Haitian emperor, told the whites, "Listen, if I catch one of you scumbag, go anywhere and take our people. I will massacre all the whites that I have here." And they did listen to him. Okay, but it was still going on undercover. I mean, underground, black market. So this guy, he stole a bunch of people somewhere, not most likely not in Africa, most likely somewhere in South America, somewhere. And then he brought them to the United States, close there. He could not sell them because the market was done. So he set those slaves free, and then he burned the ship, and then he bailed out. So those slaves that he set free, they band together, they form a little black village till 1936. They stay there, they keep everything. Those were the Hebrews from another land. They took them, most likely not in Africa. All right, we're done, brothers. Okay, this is the last part. We're done. The last black slave dies on October 2, 1979. The last former black slave died, Charlie Smith, who claimed to be America's only living former slave, passed as an unbelievable 137 years of age. Smith lived in North Florida, in the heart of the whole Cotton Belt. In a public ceremony in the mid-1970s, Governor Reuben Askew of Florida recognized Smith with a special certificate of merit. Smith's mind remains lucid of his personal life, slavery, and black history up until his death. 1979 to today, that's not that long, right? Excuse me, 42 years ago, the last slave died. That's not long ago, brothers. 42 years ago. All praises to the Most High. We're done with chapter 1. Okay, all praises. Give the Most High all praises and glory. All praises to the Most High, brothers. Let us converse a little. All praises. You understand, brothers, we were first in everything. And our people, we went through a lot. Okay, the reason why you see the so-called quote-unquote the two-thirds are acting like this, brothers, from the bottom of your heart, forgive them, brethren. Forgive them. Our people we went through a lot. A lot have done to them, brothers. There are certain PTSD we went through. It's impossible for you to get out of it. We understand. We know they are wicked. There's no way we can get them out of them. Okay, we pray for those people. The Most High hears us. At a very specific time, the Most High will open their eyes. But the two-thirds, they must go, they gotta go. They co-opt so far beyond. A lot of things that our people are doing or still doing, beloved brothers and sisters, because it's a taught behavior, something that they teach them. The so-called internet, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all those stuff, they have the power and the ability to cut off anything that they see that is representing a threat to the white community. They could have easily, just like in the video right now, if I show you the image that was in this book, they could easily remove my video and then put me in some jail and say, "Oh, okay, well, you show certain things in your video, you violated this and that and this," and then they cut you off. They could do the same thing to all people twerking online, or all those music videos, or our children saying they're going to kill each other, kill this and kill that. They could easily get rid of those things, but they don't. Beloved, Jacob's trouble was no joke. And we're still going to the remnant of it. This is the first chapter of this book. You mean after all those things that happened to us, beloved brothers and sisters, and then the Most High bring more? And the Most High took you, make the UN invade here, grab you, and put you inside of chamber, gas, kill you, beat, rape, rob you, murder you, and do the same thing they were. You just read this and do it to you again? What kind of God will do that, brothers? What kind of God will do that, sisters? Do you really believe the Most High will come back and do the same thing that he did? The same they were reading. People are saying, well, that wasn't Jacob's trouble. That was like birth pain. You went 400 years under birth pain? Is that what that is, brothers? We just got in chapter 1. You'll be surprised, brothers, things that used to happen to our people, brothers. Our God is a just God. All his judgment is in righteousness and uprightness. Father will not do this to us, brothers. That's why I say be at peace. That's why you say those people are in sorrow now because of all the scumbag things that they did. Beloved, you witness how the Father download thing in your mind years ago in your dreams. Not until today, brothers, I was reading that book. I'm like, wait, that's the book. That's what the Most High marked those people. He said, yo, you are under judgment. Brethren, when the Most High say you're under judgment, the pancakes that happen in Surfside, there is a lot of so-called quote-unquote Latin American people that are in there. People that is connected to highly government places, the Venezuelan, Argentinian, Paraguayan, Uruguayan, especially those Argentinian. Remember the beloved sister Lisa Cabrera make a video that they expel all the black folks from Argentina? There was a genocide. They keep it very quiet. No wonder the pancakes happen and flatten them. The Most High remove you forcibly from the land. We made a declaration 8 months ago in this channel. We told those people, pack your hish, get the hell off our land. They did it. They don't want to do that. Now the Most High has forcibly removed them from the land. Thank you, beloved brother, sister, Ephraim Renama. Beloved, you're going to see when our people was going to the punishment that the Most High put on us and still on us to these books, brothers. You're going to see Jacob's trouble, brothers. Is no joke. Ain't no way in hell. Because listen, the reason why you don't know, you still accepted that garbage, Jacob's trouble will happen in the future because you didn't know what happened to you in the past. You don't know that. All you know, you did something bad to the Most High and he punished you. You didn't know what that punishment is. You were so brutalized, so traumatized, you don't know what happened. And most people, including me, I didn't know all those things happened to our people, man. Until we start reading, you're like, wow, look at all the evil stuff. And that's nothing, brothers. Certain books, beloved, I don't like to bring them onto the nation, but the Father forced me. Oh, hey, I'm going to take the book of Joshua and stuff. Hey, and the Father slapped me behind the head and said, bring this book there. Beloved. Oh, yes, tomorrow Saturday will be $90, okay? Wait, is that what that is? Yes, Saturday will be $90. Tomorrow, $90 for those of you who want a $5 challenge. Beloved, tomorrow we will have the call-in. You will call tomorrow. We may not go into the book, okay? Sunday we will go, but tomorrow is Saturday. On Saturday, we have our calling, okay? Put your $90 in there. This is serious, okay, brothers? This is very serious. Put your $90 in there, okay? That's the history of our people. Sunday, we will pick up, and then we will go until we finish this book, okay? We will go all the way until we finish that book, all right? And after that, I'm going to take a big break, beloved, and then you may not see me, all right? I'm fine. I'm just studying. If you don't see me, I'm somewhere studying. I don't know how long it's going to take me. A week, 2 weeks, 3 days, a day, 2 months, 2 years, 50 years, 1,000 years. I don't know, beloved. Thank you, beloved brothers and sisters. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I don't want to keep you folks for too long. We've been talking for 3 hours nonstop. Some of you got jobs to do. I will see you tomorrow, brothers and sisters. By the power of the Most High vested in me, brothers, I'm leaving all of you in peace. Let me leave you with a little music, all right? So you guys can have a little time and chat and chat. Okay, go in peace, brothers. There'll be no Jacob's trouble, beloved. You went through a lot, brothers. That is why the Most High wants you to be at peace. Tell the Most High thank you for this great punishment that He put upon you. That was the only way for you to turn your head towards Him. Okay, all praises, brothers. Okay, let me leave you with a little music, and then I'm gonna let the screen go black. All right. Whoops.
Reason.